What is up, everybody? It is Friday, April 19th. You've already paid your taxes, and if you haven't, then look out for Mike Rotunda. He's coming for you. It is the Dads, not always on wrestling. We are live way too damn early on a Friday because Meacham screwed the scheduling, and we'll explain in a moment. Of course, I am the founder, the West Coast professor, good old JM, Jeff Meacham, joining me on screen momentarily, because he's in charge of the production side right now because he was running the opening. And I can't. There it is. There we go. He is JJ Williams. And of course, people got to be botching on a Friday, JJ. Josh, I love you. But the Jeff Meacham Network, even if we count my entirety of my history of working with Aaron, is just over 23 years. No DQ is over 25. And God bless Aaron for 25. My God, that's a long damn time. However, no, Josh, it's bad, Josh. Listen to the signature. It'll be on the end of the show for over 15 years. But anyway, we love you anyway, Mansfield. Just not always.
Most of the time.
How are you, JJ? Good to see you on a Friday morning.
It is good to be seen, and I apologize for not striking the imagery sooner. I thought in group chats, areas where we don't usually hit people up to try to garner some traffic to the show today, since we are at an ungodly hour.
No,
this is not for the love of wrestling, because I don't do that on Fridays anymore for a reason. God damn it!
I know. So I will totally take being thrown under that bus and dragged for miles. Because, I mean, I'll fill everybody in more later as we get to the end of the show and the shills and all the things. But I am going out of town Sunday. So it was one of those, oh, geez, we have to piss off, Mansfield. I'm already feeling old as it is after last night's hockey game. Do not screw with me. You know what? We're after 5. Don't fuck with me, Mansfield, all right? I'm not in the mood. But yeah, a emergency trip has come up, so I need to bounce out of town Sunday, unfortunately, before we start our Dynasty coverage. So this man will be called upon to carry the load Sunday night as well as Tuesday night, April 30th, and we'll get to all that later. But suffice to say, my scheduling got, and the process I went, oh shit, we're doing Dads. So it's like, we need to do that either in the morning or push you back to Saturday. And I forgot this guy has his work schedule, so I could have waited till Monday because I'll already be where I'm going to be and settled in. And my bad. So I apologize to everybody for the ungodly hour. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in so far. One more age joke, Josh. One more.
Mansfield, you have to remember, I'm older than Meacham.
Yes.
So if he's old enough, I'm old enough. And one more snarky comment like that, and it's going to require some super chats to both of our sides. Not just one, both.
Yeah, both.
Although,
I'll put it this way.
Let me go ahead and once again say thank you for the love you showed last night during Simply Predicting.
Yes. We appreciate that, Josh. I will say, if my dad was snarked enough to tell his boss where to go on Monday, anybody's liable. Anybody's susceptible.
Yes.
Do not. No me chingas today. Okay, day. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, if you're choosing it, Josh.
At least he owns it.
Yes. All right. Feeling frisky on a Friday, huh, Josh? All right. We'll get her done today for you, brother. But anyway, we're not here to.
It will not be a good Friday for him.
Haha, yes. But we're not here to spend 2 hours picking on Josh. We can do that any day of the week we want to. No, we are here today because, what we are here to do, and people have been asking me since I brought it up in groups and since the actual room went up this morning, we are here to book what I'm calling a MegaMania. We are here, JJ and I, separate lists, by the way, separate cards.
Although I'm sure there will be some similar matches.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. And yeah, this is one of the rare times we have a separate list and we do not know what the other's list is. So we're going to be reactions are going to be genuine as everybody else's. Basically, the gauntlet I laid down was, all right, we're having a difficult time with topics as it is, so let's lean into WrestleMania some more. Of course, WrestleMania was just last weekend, or no, 2 weekends ago now. And okay, so we got through 40 WrestleManias, some of them 2 nights. Let's do this. If we could take 10 matches per night and book a 2-night WrestleMania super card, picking matches that already happened at WrestleMania. So, like, for example, the main event of the first one, Hogan and Mr. T against Piper and Orndorff, and make that part of our mega card. How would we book it? The caveat being, you cannot use the same person more than once. Championships?
As far as a wrestler.
Yeah. As far as a wrestler, yes, that's valid. In-ring, yeah.
If a wrestler is booked inside of a match, but then happens to be the guest referee for another match.
Yes, correct.
That's completely different as long as they're on separate nights.
Yes, exactly. That was the one thing. As long as, and I almost decided to go, okay, well, since it's a 2-night, if the match we're picking was on a 2-nighter, then they can go ahead and have another night. But it's like, nah, you know what? Let's give ourselves the challenge to not pick the same person twice that's actually competing in the ring, and book a 2-night, 10 match per night mega WrestleMania.
And it's harder than you think it is.
Oh, God, yes.
Because there's people that are so revered, so loved. Take a Shawn Michaels, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Think about all the banners he's had at WrestleMania.
Yep.
But you can only use one match.
Yeah.
Same thing with Undertaker, Triple H, Hulk Hogan, The Rock.
Yep.
You can only use one match to define your WrestleMania.
Yeah. And, people automatically default to, well, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels has to be on there. It's like, okay, yeah. What about Undertaker versus...
But which one?
Yeah. Which one of those? And then it's like, okay.
And then you do that, you get rid of the Iron Man match. You get rid of Shawn and Angle. You get rid of Triple H and Taker, Hell in a Cell, end of an era. You get rid of the Boneyard match.
It was a mucker.
Yeah, you get rid of Giant Gonzalez and Snuka, and that's perfectly fine. But
yes,
there's other classics that you lose as a result of it. You lose him versus Diesel, him versus Kane.
Yep, either one.
So you've got to be very, very picky and choosy. So if the ones that we picked aren't necessarily the ones that you would have picked, don't come at us. Right? Because we seriously had to be picky about this.
Yeah. Meticulous was the word of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
No Mansfield. I understand you stepped away to get your lunch, so you may miss the first part. We are talking about matches that already exist.
Yes.
We are not fantasy booking.
No.
We are taking matches from the WrestleManias that have happened.
Right.
And booking a MegaMania with only using a star once.
Yes. And
career, that's fine. That's valid. Personally, I still hold the original to a higher regard.
Yes.
But that's subjective.
This is probably going to be one of the most subjective shows we ever do. Like, it really is. And think about, you mentioned, if you pick Michaels and Undertaker, then you take away Michaels' Angle. And Lord knows that was a 5-star match for most credible people.
Yeah. And think about Money in the Bank.
Right?
Think about all the people that eliminates if you use a Money in the Bank match. Just the original Money in the Bank. Edge, Christian, Benoit, Jericho, Shelton. You lose all those people. So there's no Benoit triple threat from WrestleMania 20. There's no Jericho versus Michaels. There's no TLC.
Edge versus Phil and everybody
by booking the Money in the Bank match. So
yes,
crazy stuff.
Yes.
Charlotte Rhea. So then you lose Rhea from this year. You lose the triple threat main event from 35. You lose a bunch of stuff. So it's going to be curious to see what each of us has in store. And Josh, you have some homework.
Yeah, I was going to say, between what you just put on your own list and then that last comment, all the homework, bro.
Do your homework, bro.
All the homework. And I'm going out of town. So when I come back from my trip, you're going to be on freaking detention if you don't get your shit together.
So that being said,
there will be a backlash. Anyway, yes.
Let's get down to business. No, we're not trying to defeat any Huns today.
No.
But we're already almost 15 minutes into this.
That's valid.
Kicking off night 1 of CasaMania is arguably the greatest curtain jerker in WrestleMania history.
There you go.
Bret versus Owen.
I love it.
Brother.
I love it.
And again, right there, Bret Hart in the curtain jerker. So there's no Iron Man. There's no submission match against Stone Cold. You know, those are gone. There's no Hart Foundation matches from the early years.
Yeah, no.
Straight out the gate.
Yep.
Because how can you deny the greatness of that match? Like I said, arguably both of their finest moments at WrestleMania.
Yep. Definitely the greatest non-title WrestleMania opener. I will die on that hill with a stake of Canadian maple leaf in my heart.
That's right.
Damn it. Can't be hot like it's not Christmas Day. It's Canada. It's always cold. It's always Christmas. It's okay.
Pretty much.
Except July. I guess really it's hotter than shit in July because they were bitching about that during the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view. So.
But yeah, I mean, I figured what better way
to
start things off. Oh, my bad. You're supposed to be doing the comments. I keep seeing the number of comments pop up in my thing. It's like, okay. I want to make it go away.
I did, dude. That unnecessarily bothers me. It does. I don't know why. It's like no number. It's a bad number.
It's like I feel like as soon as the comment comes up on screen, that should go away because somebody has addressed it.
Yes, I know.
But anyways, what better way to start off my weekend, my showcase, than just some outright catch as catch can technical wrestling masterpiece.
Right?
Because God knows match number 2 is not that.
Oh.
Match number 2 is a personal match that I threw on, partially because I wanted to try and get as many people on the card as possible. Partially because I have a soft spot in my heart for some of these individuals.
Yes.
But coming up to try to bring the crowd down a little bit after that masterpiece.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
The originals versus the new breed.
Oh, my God. I forgot about this match completely as it is. Wow.
I mean, you've got the ECW originals. You got Sandman, Sabu, Dreamer, and RVD. Like, that right there is a good enough time. God damn it.
That's valid.
And then on the other side of things, Matt Stryker was always cool as fuck.
Oh, I love Matt.
You know, Kevin Thorne got such a bad rap, so horribly booked.
Yes, more than once.
Marcus Corvon, the alpha male Monty Brown, deserves a Mania shine, and Elijah Burke, whatever.
I love Pope. Come on.
I have nothing against him, but compared to the other three, like 7 out of 8 ain't bad, damn it.
And no, that's fair. And Pope and WWE.
And then you got Shelly Martinez at ringside too, so you know.
I mean, there you go. Yeah, Elijah in WWE did not measure up to Pope outside, so I got you.
But yeah, like I said, you're gonna have a couple of these matches on here where you're gonna sit there like you just didn't go, oh Lord, I forgot about that.
I did.
But for me, like I just love going back and reliving some of these because they're time capsules.
Yes, that's fair.
You know, that match right there is everything the reboot could have been versus everything it was.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll
Full
leave it at
disclosure.
that to
Yeah.
prevent further ranting and raving, because those rants and raves cost money, kids.
Yeah. And I will say, as a spoiler for later, I didn't book Rob at all. And I feel bad now. But I mean,
As well you should.
but think of his Mania moments versus his other moments. And it's like, he
I
didn't have
know.
a whole lot of glorious Manias.
Well, where he wins
Except
Money in the Bank.
Well, right, but then like you
But
said,
then you lose all the other people that are in that match.
I was gonna say,
Get
Money in the
Rob
Bank
on
is
the
a
card.
muckerfuther, man. It's awful.
I know.
That's what makes this shit so hard, kids.
Trust me. I examined Money in the Bank like every year. Be like, okay,
Oh
who can I? God damn it! I got to cut at least one match, if not more than one, if I use the Money in the Bank.
Right. Yeah, that Money in the Bank not being used for Rob will come up on my list, and I'll explain when we get there because I couldn't use it after where I went.
Fine. So, bringing things back up a little bit after the originals versus the new breed, I feel is a forgotten gem.
All right.
If memory serves me correctly, it is their only WrestleMania match. Taka Michinoku versus the man who would become Ese Rios, Aguila.
It is their only WrestleMania. Well, Taka was in the Hardcore Battle Royal that was here in 2000.
Yeah, no one really counts that.
He was part of that cluster. I mean, I can't do my first Mania.
It was a cluster.
Yeah,
that says everything.
Yeah, it was a mess. And no, I didn't book that one, obviously.
But a little bit of light heavyweight, cruiserweight, lucha action kind of bring things back up a little bit after the violence that is the ECW match. Again, forgotten gem.
Oh, yeah.
Taka, especially during this time, was on fire.
Oh, my God.
Nobody could fucks with Taka.
No.
And Aguila, poor guy, went through like 15 gimmicks before he finally came up and was Ese Rios and got a little bit of a push thanks to a certain fiery redhead who loved to show her thong.
Right.
And do moonsaults off the top rope.
Yes.
But again, it's one of those matches that I go back to and I'm like, it's a time capsule.
Right.
It was their attempt to compete with the cruiserweight division of WCW.
Yes.
Which, let's be real, that's one of the things WCW did better than the WWF.
Oh, without a friggin' doubt.
But it was a good match, and I wanted to represent that because I don't feel it gets talked about enough.
No, and you are valid in that statement. And Mania 14 was so low dead that's why it gets forgotten. Because it was sandwiched between that Battle Royal to kick it off with the return of the Road Warriors, with Sonny dressed in less than body Donna coverage. My goodness. And then I think it was followed up by Hunter and Owen, which again was another, forgotten banger in that WrestleMania of awesomeness. So loaded card. Tough. Good call. Yeah. I like it.
So, fourth match for night one for Casamania is our first glimpse of the ladies.
Okay.
And I know it's a favorite of mine. I know it's a favorite of yours.
Oh. Yes. Yes. Very cool. Very cool.
I all the reasons just in that image, like
no, I know.
Trish had some good matches at Mania, but I feel like this was her pinnacle. This was her mountaintop.
Yep.
And Mickey is Mickey.
Yeah.
And this was her moment.
I was gonna say
it was her coming out party.
Yes. And definitely. Definitely the reason Noah uses the phrase lithium on the regular now when it comes to crazy people was Mickie James in this match. And Josh, I'm not going to post your comment, but hindsight, it takes away from it. In the middle of the moment, it's like, ooh, what he did. But that for me, and the JJ's list, but that for me did not make or break that match. That match was the standard for me until 8 years later with Natty and Charlotte, and then of course Sasha and Bailey said hold our beer. But yeah, but yeah,
I would say leave it in just because I'm not a fan of editing anything out.
That's true. You're not. That's true.
I feel preservation and conservation should be key. If it was in the match, leave it in the match.
Yep. I think it's on the DVD if I remember right. I don't. It's been a while since I watched, but even still, you know, that's why hard copies, kids. That's why hard copies.
So, coming to the middle of the road here, I have two completely different matches.
Oh, geez.
I have one that harkens back to our opening contest of technical excellence, and one that makes people shake their head as to why this even occurred at a WrestleMania, but it had no other place where it could have happened except for at a WrestleMania. So match 5 for Casa de Mania harkens back to our opening contest of technical excellence.
All right. Oh, there you go.
Angle defending both titles against the Chris's, Benoit and Jericho. European and Intercontinental titles on the line. 2 out of 3 falls match.
Yes.
Well, 2 falls match, not 2 out of 3 falls. But
yeah, 2 fall. Yeah, 2 fall triple threat match. Yeah,
you know what
yours. I got you. I was there. I remember.
And this was hard for me because, again, there goes Angle and Michaels. There goes Benoit's moment at Mania 20. There goes any of Jericho's Mania moments. But as great as Benoit's moment at 20 was, this match was and will always be for me, especially on a Mania level, right up there with Owen and Brett.
Yep.
And we always talk about how clusterfucky triple threats can be. They managed to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. This was your classic triple threat that wasn't a triple threat at all because it was 2 essentially separate matches. And the combos you had with yourself about removing matches to include this one, I had the same conversations with myself.
I know.
And you've already had 2 matches that I have. And I think they're on the same night. So there you go.
Cool deal.
Yes.
Well, then we go to the match that you were just like, boy, why did it happen? Why is it here? But it couldn't have happened at any stage other than WrestleMania. And I had to get this guy on my card at some point.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Hogan versus Vince.
Okay, that's valid.
Everybody knows I'm not Hogan's hugest fan. I'm Team Piper over Team Hogan. I'm Team Savage over Team Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm Team pick who's across the ring from Hogan over Hogan in most cases. But the way that they built this, 20 years in the making, did Hogan make the WWF and WrestleMania, or did Vince make Hogan? And there's a little bit of truth in both of those statements.
Oh, yeah.
And again, there's no other place they could have done this except for WrestleMania. The only thing that would have made it more perfect is if it had been in the Garden.
Yes, that's true. The following year. Yeah.
But how do you not have Hulk Hogan on a WrestleMania card?
That's true. And again,
you've got Hogan versus Andre.
Yeah.
You've got the main event from the first WrestleMania. You've got Rock Hogan that now cannot appear because of this match. And here's a little, you didn't book RVD, I didn't book Piper.
What? Whoa, that's even bigger than mine, dude.
No, because you're personal friends with Rob.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like, you got the dude's phone number.
Like,
yeah,
I know.
I met
Yeah.
Roddy a couple of times, but I was never as close to him as you were with Rob.
And I will still say, on the eve of the
let's be
day,
real. If it wasn't for the curly-haired monster, if we were going to Rebellion this weekend, you would probably have an interview with him. That's how close you are. But because the curly-haired monster decided to book him on 420.
interview followed by an intervention, I'm sure, thanks to Rob. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I had the conversation with myself about Vince too. I really did, and he is on my list. And you'll see where he is later. Hogan too. Obviously,
I knew
Hogan.
you'd have Hogan.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you would have Vince because Vince is such a taboo conversation piece this day and age.
Yeah.
But I kind of hold to the philosophy that Vince Russo holds to. And I know Vince Russo is not a popular name for a certain Cleveland combatant in the chat room. But whether you like him, whether you don't like him, whether what happened behind closed doors did or did not happen, because everyone is still innocent until proven guilty in the United States of America.
My God.
You cannot deny what Vincent Kennedy McMahon did for professional wrestling sports entertainment. And you cannot take away his contributions and creations of WrestleMania.
No. And I think that's what the WrestleMania 19 match really encapsulates in a nutshell. So there you go. Great pick for me. I went a different way with both gentlemen. So
that's fair. Well, we need something to get the crowd back awake after that snooze fest. We need something to get the crowd back excited.
Yeah.
TLC 2.
There you go. There's a pop and a half. There you go.
Dudley Boys defending their titles against Edge and Christian and the Hardys.
Again.
I mean, say no more. I can say no more. Like, right? Seriously. And what was hardest for me is, do I put this on night 1 or night 2? That was the tougher part for me.
Right.
But TLC, how do you not book TLC on a WrestleMania card?
Especially again, TLC.
That takes all 6 of them out.
Yep.
But aside from, and this is where I had the hardest problem with it.
Right.
Christian versus Jericho almost made my list.
Yeah.
That was a banner, and that really helped redefine Christian and get out of Edge's shadow.
Yep.
Especially with the Trish heel turn and the holy hell. But that steamy kiss that she planted on the creepy little bastard. Dude, her facial expression after the fact was everything.
Oh no. I will take that facial expression any day. Like Stephanie kind of like set the standard in 99 when she first turned heel on Raw after Armageddon. Trish perfected it. That little side almost backwards side. Yeah, no, I can't. But yeah, the lead into it for Trish was like, yeah, no, he's creepy little bastard for reasons. No, I can't. No.
But I ultimately chose this over that match because, again, then I couldn't have the triple threat with Angle, Benoit, and Jericho, and I couldn't have this.
Yep.
And I feel like those matches are better than the one.
Yeah. And TLC 2 also includes Lita getting a moment, Spike getting a moment, and Rhino getting a moment. So there you go.
More people getting booked.
That's right. All the bookings.
Because it's WrestleMania, aside from booking an Andre the Giant Battle Royal, got to get everybody in there.
And it's not anymore anyway. It's on a friggin' Friday now. Dumbasses.
All right. Now, from here, it's just match. Like, there's no real comeback down after TLC 2. Like, you're in the go home stage.
Yeah, you're in Sheamus mode.
if any match could be considered a cool down out of the TLC and then the following matches, it's this one right here. And calling it a cool down is a gross misjustice.
Okay. Wow, yeah, right.
But that just tells you the fire that I've got if I say this is the only thing that could maybe be considered a cool down.
Yeah, seriously, considering how hot this rivalry was going in.
And this was right on the cusp of the Summer of Punk.
Oh, yes.
So we were just about to that superstar status for good old Phil.
Oh, yeah, you and I were up in that way too much.
While the counterfeit Bucks were still performing in gymnasiums.
Huh? Yeah. Maybe maybe a Legion Halls by that point. Trying to remember.
Don't patronize me, Meacham.
Let
me make my statement and come down on those a-holes, okay?
No, please do. I'm just saying. I'm trying to. It was definitely after their TNA run, so I think they were already back in Gorilla winning the tag titles. But even still, the Legion Hall smaller than a gym anyway. There you go.
Once again, booking themselves to win titles that they don't deserve to hold. But Punk and Orton again. I had to get these guys on the show.
Yes.
I had to figure out a way to work them in because can't get Punk and Undertaker.
Nope.
Taker's coming later.
Oh yeah.
Can't do a Money in the Bank with Punk.
No. Especially the second one.
And Orton can't do Orton Taker, which I was there for.
Yeah.
Can't do Evolution versus Rock and Sock.
Nope.
Rocky's coming later. I mean, I already left Piper off my list. If I left Rocky off my list too, people would be wanting to check my forehead.
Yeah.
Cape Rare, just keep in mind, we haven't even got through night 1 yet, bro.
Yeah.
We getting there. We letting it cook. The pot is just starting to come to a boil because we haven't even hit the main event of night 1.
Just for his show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going from Orton and Punk, we're gonna go to a match that did main event its WrestleMania. But it's only the semi-main event for mine.
Oh. There you go. There you go.
Take all from 35.
There you go. I like it.
Charlotte and Ronda. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, it was the main event of that WrestleMania for a reason. Why isn't it the main event of your WrestleMania? Because I got a main event for WrestleMania that wasn't the main event of it, but it damn sure should have. But Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda. I know a lot of people are probably surprised that I have a Charlotte match on my WrestleMania card, and especially how highly I have it ranked. But it's Ronda and Becky too.
Yeah.
So, going back to the ECW New Breed and Originals, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No, that's fair.
And they did deserve their spotlight.
Oh, they totally did. It was the culmination of a long and winding road for every female that had ever been booked by that company.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. You figure, we talked about this when we talked about Mania a couple weeks ago, whatever show we were doing about Mania. Yes, Hogan and Mr. T and Piper and Orndorff main evented that show. But we wouldn't have gotten there without Cindy and Wendy, Cindy Lauper, Wendy Richter, and the Fabulous Moolah. Leilani was champion, and that's I'm not discounting her, but without those 3 women and Captain Lou, there's no WrestleMania, period. So the women had already, in my eyes, earned their spot in the main event in 1985. It just took us till freaking 2019 to get there.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
And that's only because at 1985, people, while it may have been the catalyst to get us to WrestleMania,
yeah,
people weren't selling out arenas to watch Wendy Richter and Leilani Kai.
No.
They were selling out arenas to see Hulk Hogan. So semi-main, perfect placement for that show.
No, exactly. And to on your
30 years later,
yeah,
we had evolved enough to where women were selling out arenas.
Absolutely. And on your point, they were selling out arenas to see Hulk Hogan beat up Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Piper brought him in.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No question.
It was just
I've always held to that belief that
it
takes a good heel to make people want to see the babyface beat their ass.
Yep.
And at that point, there was no better than Piper.
Yeah. And I never really got that until he cut that promo on Hogan and Halloween Havoc. If I wasn't so hated, do you think they would have loved you so much? And it's like, ooh, he's not alive, but he's not wrong. It's true, brother. Yes, Josh. Good boy, Josh. It's a Friday. Behave yourself. It's morning. Behave yourself.
So if I took a main event for a WrestleMania and made it the semi-main, and I've already stated that my main event is a match that didn't main event its show, what could my main event for night one possibly be?
Ooh, there you go. There you go. I like it.
What if you're starting off your first night of WrestleMania with Bret Owen? I felt there was no better way to cap it off than Austin and Rock.
That's valid.
And this has always been my favorite of their series.
Yep.
By and far, 15 was the weakest. Everyone, I think, agrees to that.
Yeah.
17 was great until the heel turn at the end in hindsight, because it was what it was. This match, it was all about Rocky doing what he had never been able to do, and that's defeat Austin at Mania.
Yep. That's true.
And then finding out, everything that happened to Austin going in, the fact that he had gotten released from the hospital just hours prior to this match.
Yeah.
Because of all the Red Bulls he had been downing and
yep.
what it was doing to his heart and everything. It was just like, dude, so great to see the way this has been capped off.
It's 2 matches now for sure you got to watch, Josh, before I get back from Arizona. Damn you.
So Austin Rock brings night one to a close.
I like the placement of Austin Rock. People talk about 17 being the best. Yeah, remember, 17 was part of for years, I think even now there's still a debate. 40 still kind of selling itself into the history books. But 17 was part of a WrestleMania that everything was the best. Mm-hmm. So, 19, I think not any of them. 3 of those 4 matches that were billed as the main event, I think could have easily finished that show. Angle Lesnar, which ultimately did, Vince and Hogan, and Austin Rock. Booker and Hunter, unfortunately, suffered from a very questionable storyline. But
putting it nicely.
Yeah, I'm trying real hard to not pick on Hunter so much during that time period anymore. But the other 3 matches, especially with the way they finished, The Rock finally getting his win, Austin getting his send-off, Lesnar regained the championship, damn near killing his damn self, and then Hogan beating Vince at WrestleMania after the whole, the whole big long feud they had. And K-Perry makes a valid point. Jericho Shawn also could have main evented. I think because of the finish, probably not, but definitely a marquee match for that. Like, there were so many matches at WrestleMania 19 that were just hit on point, and it gets underrated because it falls after the Attitude Era Manias and before WrestleMania 20, which was your standard for so many years. So 19 kind of gets lost in the sauce, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
So, kicking off night 2 of CasaMania.
Yes.
Is the other match that I argue next to Brett and Owen, greatest opening match of all time.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely.
WrestleMania 21. Maybe it's a little personal bias because I was there.
Oh, sure.
But have we ever really seen a bad match between the two of them?
No.
Even the custody of Dominic ladder match, which was a horrid storyline, was a phenomenal match.
That they're still bringing up now.
If you just look at the match itself,
oh yeah,
phenomenal match.
Yep, great storytelling in that one match.
But again, you put Eddie and Ray on there. We've already used Kurt Angle. We've already used Orton.
Randy Orton, yeah.
It's not using one person per night. You only can use them once, period.
In a in-ring wrestler role, which was clarified earlier at the top of the show. Yeah.
But I mean, it's
I know.
It's a great match, and I think it's only amplified by the fact that I was there.
Yes. And again, the argument of greatest non-title opener, it's the two matches you use, brother.
Neck and neck.
Because they were tag team champions, but they weren't fighting for a title, at least not yet. So,
all right. Coming down from that, much like I had night 1, I've got one of those matches where you're probably going to go, forgot about that, tried to forget about that.
Okay.
But again, we're trying to get people on the card.
All right, that's fair. Oh,
Chicago Street Fight.
Oh, man.
The Road Warriors and Ahmed Johnson versus the original incarnation of the Legion of Doom. Or the Nation of Domination. That's what I meant.
All good. Either way. Man, God. Prison Crush was a rough take.
Again, I felt like I needed to get LOD on the card. I wanted to get Farouk in there.
Sure.
And I always liked Ahmed Johnson. There's just something about his presentation, the Pearl River Plunge, the music, something about Ahmed, even via videotape, since he was already pretty much gone by the time that I started watching.
I was going to say, yeah.
I knew him as Big T in WCW when he was trying to take Booker's place in Harlem Heat.
Sweet baby Jesus. The Sesame Street fight.
But by the time he debuted as Big T, I had already seen some of the videotapes of Ahmed, so I knew who it was.
Yes.
And knew that he was a shell of his former self in there next to Stevie Ray.
Oh,
but then
God.
Again, anybody trying to step into Booker's shoes was going to be a shell of their former self. Let's be real.
Yeah. If you started WCW in the year 2000, you're already behind the 8 ball.
But yeah, I wanted to get these guys on the show because I felt like at least 4 of the 6 deserved that Mania rub. And where else are you going to get Farouk except for maybe an Acolyte match with Bradshaw? But then you run the risk of eliminating other competitors, like that 4-team WrestleMania 20 match.
Yeah. The WrestleMania 18 match, which eliminates other people. The 17 6-man, which was them and Taz against RTC, which, I again, there's a lot of things. And if you're going the strategy of getting people booked, I mean, God, you've got Stevie in that one, Bull Buchanan in that one, Good Father, not Godfather in that one, which
no that's a bad Good Father.
Well,
I need to go back to Pimpin' Hoes Nationwide.
That's okay. That kayfabe and
coming out to the rain with freaking iced tea wrapping you.
Man, I was at that Mania, and I have
I
no
know, that's
regrets
why I
about them.
keep throwing that
And I
up.
have no regrets about them cutting that shit off the freaking network release. I am good. Oh,
I
rough.
remember seeing it at home, and I was like, "Yeah."
It was a cool moment, and I was happy that they got that kind of rub. But man, you go back and watch it, it's
Hey, you
like
got to see one of the stars of CSI live.
hey, even the great Ice-T, who wasn't quite on Law and Order yet, by God. Yeah, even Lemmy was going, brother, that was horrible at WrestleMania.
Hey, at least Ice-T remembered his words.
No, he didn't. Go back and watch it. He stumbled over half of it, Mucker brother. Don't be lying to the people. Jesus Christ. To be fair, in California.
Okay. At least Ice-T only forgot the words once.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Because he wasn't brought back. To be fair. At least he ran on the CD track. That's the important thing. Oh, Jesus. We're bad
God.
people. Whatever. Yeah. And yes, I am with Cape Raider on this one. Poor D'Lo Post Nation, freaking dressing like a pimp, then with freaking Lowdown. That's a whole second half of the career of no D'Lo. That's a bad D'Lo.
It's still better than Mosh and Thrasher with those big old furry cones on their chest.
WrestleMania 2000 is just the example of
every Mosh turning into hairy beaver cleavage.
WrestleMania 2000, kids, watch. It's a case study. I'm telling you, it is. It's a case study.
And you can't even blame Russo for it because he was already gone.
Nope. WrestleMania 2000 is one of those. Vince Russo ruined it. Yeah. Nope.
Okay, getting us back on track here.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to restore some dignity.
Oh, okay, good.
For WrestleMania after that street fight. We're going once again to the women.
There we go. Yes.
Molly.
Glad I started that. Where was that? Nope, I didn't start. But it was brought up earlier.
Had to get this one in there.
Yes.
Everybody knows how partial I am to this. Everybody should know how much I love both these women, but especially Victoria, especially Lisa Marie.
Absolutely.
Always such a doll every time I've encountered her.
Yep. We've been very fortunate to meet both of them on numerous occasions. So it's pretty cool. Nora by freaking sheer dumb luck, most of them.
Yeah, right.
So yeah. Oh, hi. Yeah.
Turn around at the sweat box and she just happens to be hanging out there.
Yeah, just completely blending in the crowd at All-Star Weekend. It's like, oh, hi. That was crazy. That was a crazy weekend of meeting people.
Yes, and to Cape Breer's point, Victoria was the OG crazy chick.
Hell yeah, man. She laid that blueprint down for Mickie James to follow in later.
Yep, and now Tatum Paxley's coming doing the same thing.
Man, Tuesday's going to be a good trip. Like I said, I'm not high on triple threats even now. That one with Tatum and Lyra and Rox is going to be good. Looking forward to it, brother. Looking forward to you calling it.
So am I. So Molly Victoria starts another round of just banner after banner after banner with no real come down for a little bit here.
Okay.
So I hope everybody has drained themselves because there's no potty breaks between Molly Victoria and match 6, and even match 6 is questionable.
Oh, geez.
So we go straight from the excellence of Molly Victoria into match 4 of CasaMania. Savage Steamboat.
There you go. There you go, brother.
The oldest match that I have booked.
Oh, there you go.
But again, we need some sheer technical excellence, some high flying, the drama and suspense of Elizabeth at ringside, the beauty and grace that only she can bring.
Yes.
And the magical moment of Steamboat capturing the championship.
It's valid. Yeah, that'll come up for me later too, for the record. Another one we share. But yeah, I debated on this one a lot. I mean, Cape Ray makes a great point, man. I like, do I include the Warrior? Which match do I include? Because either one of them takes the other guy away. It's like I don't want to lose Hogan to Warrior, and I want to lose Savage to Warrior.
I did contemplate Hogan and Warrior so as to not dabble in the Vince waters.
Right.
But I had to go with this one. And yeah, Piper Brett, I love that match.
Yeah.
But then you lose Brett Nolan.
Yeah, you lose Brett Nolan.
Sorry, I love Piper, but Brett Nolan is just better.
No, it is. No, it is.
And it's a great kickoff to one of the nights because it was the first match.
Yep.
It's perfectly placed there and is a way to get people excited about everything else that's to come.
Absolutely. And it's in the Garden, so the history is there too.
You know, you get the asses in the seats, and then you hit them with something a little bit meh, because it's like, well, your ass should have been there on time because we presented this banner.
Yep.
And speaking of a banner, match 5, go ahead and do that again because he's in this match, as it was a match where people had already started to turn on him.
Oh,
but they really got behind his opponent, which at the time was one of the most venomous heels in the company.
Wow. Okay, so you use this match for the okay. Now I'm curious what's going to happen later. Okay. And again, go ahead.
Cena Triple H. And it's only my midway.
Right? Man.
It's only my midway because, I mean, you could argue some of the other stuff, but like, I wanted to try to have some cool down, get hot before we got to the main event.
Fair.
So,
yeah,
kind of needed it to be the middle of the card here.
Yeah. You're being much nicer to the audience than I am.
As disgraceful as it may be to have it here.
Yeah.
I just felt that this was one of John's better matches. And
it was.
If you're going to have Cena on here, I felt like it needed to be Cena versus Hunter or Cena versus Shawn.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't do Cena Rock. Already had Rocky versus Austin.
Yes.
So had to do what I had to do. It was a judgment call, but I feel like it was a good one for my Mania.
Yeah. I personally feel that if the first WrestleMania actual match with Cena and Bray Wyatt went the way it should have went, that would have been more of a discussion in both our heads to put it on there.
It's fair. But Cena versus Bray happened during an era when I wasn't watching.
Right.
So I'm not going to be as partial to it as I'm going to be towards other ones. Hold up, you're going through some of those way too quickly.
Well, no, because I clicked on the one that had anything to do with the show, but I will. Ryan, thank you. We're facing Edmonton, so here we go. But yeah.
Well, no, but there was one from Josh that you threw up too, and then like disappeared really quickly.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He said you already took. Yeah, and again, I was there for the triple threat with Hunter and Cena and Orton, and that was a discussion in my head too. So, and then Safet said Cena versus Triple H was a great main event, and during this match, you got some DXTs. And the match that was the kind of was there before. Yes, the Cena versus Shawn match on Raw was better, but we're not talking about the Raw match.
Yeah.
So, WrestleMania, baby.
So we're gonna cool down a little bit here. Still hard hitting. Still lots of action. Still a little hardcore, if you will. Coming in again at the middle of the pack here.
Yeah, there you go.
Cactus and Chainsaw versus the Outlaws.
Jeez. It's awesome.
Dumpster match. We had the ECW originals on night 1.
Yep.
And on night 2, we've got Terry Funk and Cactus Jack, 2 other guys who really helped put ECW on the map. Against 2 men who were really trying to still define their identity, as they hadn't become degenerates yet. That wouldn't happen until the next night.
Yes.
You know, one would go on to face demons, team with a guy named K Quick and get rowdy in his later years. The other one fathered some ass boys.
Yeah. You know, but it's funny. The one facing the demons and, you know, got rowdy ended up being arguably one of the most powerful people in the company now.
Yeah.
Yep. That damn wrong dumpster clause.
Yeah, I never liked that stipulation.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, exactly, Mansfield. It's a tough one.
Well, because he mentioned earlier in the comments, you know, what about Edge Foley? It's, oh, wait, no, you're in TLC too. Never mind. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He sat there and did, oh, wait, shit. Yeah, this is very much an oh, wait, shit show.
Yeah.
Oh. No, and Ryan makes
it's hard. I tried to explain how hard it was. I don't think people understood until they started seeing the matches coming. It's like,
damn
it.
Yeah. Ryan makes a valid point. Yeah, they weren't officially with DX, but you can see. I forget what it was after the dumpster toss. But the Outlaws did something else, and you can see Sean and Hunter going, you know, we might got something there. I think the plan always was to put them with DX after WrestleMania 14. It's just they were counting on Sean's back going to shit.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting to think of what the DX Army could have been if Sean was part of it from the beginning.
I know.
There you go. See, that's why we went and headed with this, Josh, because again, out of the thought process of, man, what can we possibly do that we haven't already done? Boom! There we go. Hit you with the banger on a Friday.
So, my next match make a couple people question things, but I want to go ahead and throw this disclaimer out that I should have done in the beginning.
Okay.
No matches from this year are on my list.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's only because I had my list made prior to this year's airing. And I didn't want to show recency bias.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that is perfectly clear before I reveal my number 7 match, which was the night that the Nightmare came home.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like this match right here, and a lot of people are going to be like, what about Cody and Roman? This match right here really set the ball in motion for everything we have seen the last 2 years.
That's fair.
And while the series got better and better with every match that they had, culminating in Hell in a Cell with a torn pectoral.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Cody's chest looking like a little baby had been taken to the woodshed and his ass reddened. You know, it was tough for me between this and Cody Roman 1.
Yeah.
But with Cody Roman 1 having been a Cody loss,
yeah,
I wanted to go with this one because just that moment of him ascending from the elevator the worst kept secret in professional wrestling, but hearing that music echo through the stadium and that crowd reaction of him coming home.
Yep.
And then the match was way better than it should have been.
Yeah. To Caper's point. Yeah. I'll tell you, I had forgotten how far back Kingdom went with him. They put up a playlist on TNA's YouTube of him and during Impact. Of like, man, damn, he has been using this from the get since he left WWE. Holy shit! Hearing that song and that little bit of Impact song, funnier than shit. I'm not gonna lie. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm gonna get accused of recency bias. I'll say that.
I figured you would, and I did have one of the pictures from this year ready to go, but I decided against it because I didn't want to be accused of that.
That's fair.
If we did this show in another 2 to 3 years,
okay,
then maybe I would have Cody Roman 2 in there.
Yeah.
But I couldn't in good conscience put it there when I already had my list done prior to Mania.
Right.
Because as soon as we discussed it, I was like, okay.
Right. I remember. Yeah. I remember you telling me that.
And I just didn't want to get that accusation that, oh, well, you only have it there because it just happened. And let's see if you feel the same way in a couple years. That's perfectly fair.
It's a valid argument. And I
went ahead and I took that route. No, Josh. No.
Great moment, though it was.
Yes.
For Sammy, our boy Sammy, man. 2 in a row. You got to love that shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny thinking about
Sammy is not on my list at all either.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to...
Spoiler alert for my next 3 matches.
I was going to say, right? Yeah. Well, yeah.
Put it
I got you
like this. The Rock is the only member of the Bloodline to appear on my list, and we've already had him.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And again, before people in the chat room start flaming me and jumping down my throat, keep in mind, most of the Roman era, even going back to the Shield, happened during my absence. And I damn sure ain't not going to put Roman versus Undertaker.
No.
And some people may look at things like my ECW Originals match, my Chicago Street Fight, and be like, you couldn't have gotten rid of those. And
no.
But again, it's personal. These are matches that I've always loved. And I don't want to show recency bias.
Subjective.
I could be wrong, but I don't think I have any match from 39. So I don't have anything from the last 2 Manias.
Man, I'm gonna get recency bias all up in my shit.
Seth and Cody is the most recent match that I have.
Wow.
Because that was 38.
Yeah.
Yep. I have a match from 37, but 38 is the most recent one I have. I don't have anything from 39 or 40.
Wow. All right. Good to know.
But after Seth and Cody, before we get to our 2 closing matches, we got to bring the crowd back a little bit.
Look at this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. I just realized something.
What's that?
Somebody double booked.
Uh-oh.
I got to throw that out.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, fuck it. I don't have an image for it, but I will go ahead and throw it in there then.
Okay.
My number 8 will go ahead and it'll be Sammy and KO versus the Usos.
Well, I'll go ahead and use mine since I don't want to.
Yeah,
I want to see your picks. So
it's okay. We won't.
Yeah.
Don't have an image for it. I completely brain farted. I originally was going to have Battle of the Billionaires, but I've already used Vince.
Vince didn't wrestle.
That's true.
Use it, dude. You're fine.
He was at ringside.
Yep, you're good. You got it. Go for it.
Represented.
Yep, do your thing, brother. You got it. All right.
Okay.
Edit point. Even though we're live.
Yeah. We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. So number 3, night 2. Yeah. Or number 8, night 2. There you go. There it is.
I saw his image there in the foreground. I'm like, oh shit. That's how tired I am. This is why we're supposed to do these shows in the afternoon, Meacham.
I know. Once again, it's all my fault.
Damn right it is. So Battle of the Billionaires. Lashley versus Umaga. Lashley representing the man who would become president of the United States, Donald Trump. Umaga representing the man who would basically be impeached from his own company, Vince McMahon, and Austin in the middle of it all, trying to play peacemaker.
In the category of, I'll take matches that age like milk for 200, Alex. Like, Jesus Christ.
So, apologies for everybody.
The birth of gangsta Vince. Ryan's got it on point. Do-rag McMahon, baby.
I think I would rather relive Katie Vick than do-rag McMahon, and that's saying some shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can say the same thing. Do-rag Vince was slightly more PC.
Do-rag Vince was ECW champion.
I know this. We had a show about this, dog. I remember this. We had to say, no, we can't use the Vinces because of how bad that was. I remembers. I was theirs. Do-rag gangsta Vince. I can't even fucking comment. Oh my God.
They didn't change his music to a more hip-hop version of No Chance in Hell.
Jesus Christ. I just remember they did a freaking hip-hop version of No Chance for the Aggression album. That just came in my brain right now. Hey, oh my God.
That one wasn't as bad as the Mac 10 Big Show one that they actually did use.
What was I watching? Oh, I was telling you I was watching the April 17th, 2000 Raw that they were showing to Shivani on Conrad's thing. And Big Show came out and I'm like, oh God, it's the Aggression song. Mute. No. Strike it from the memory banks. Anyway.
And Josh, if you're going to try to address me by what you think JJ stands for, just stop.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Stop. Because you look like an idiot more than you already do.
When you're out there,
and if you're gonna try and insult me, super chat me when you do it.
That's right. Damn it.
That way you can pay for your stupidity in advance.
That's right. You are out derping do-rag Vince with your comments. I'm just throwing that out there. Or Gangsta McMahon is Ryan. That's what he's going to be saying.
So now that my botch is over for the day, moving along to number 9, my semi-main event.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the match. It's just Billionaire. That's what it was. Just there it was.
My semi-main event for night 2 also was the main event for one of its shows.
Okay.
Because it hails from a 2-night Mania.
Ah.
And everybody should not be surprised that this is on my card whatsoever.
Probably not. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Waiting for that.
Sasha versus Bianca.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's probably some people out there that are, again, like, as much as you love this match, why isn't it your main event?
Patience, children, patience.
Or they're like, well, you're sexist because you're not giving the women the main event. It's like, motherfucker, I have 4 women's matches on my show.
He's got more women's matches than I do. For the record.
I have 9 women booked to wrestle, not even counting managers.
Yeah.
Okay? Give me a break, people. And at least I have them in the semi-main.
Yeah.
Not jerking the curtain or match 2 on my card.
Yeah.
Like, the Vince era would have done them.
Or at 9:30 like people do it now.
Yeah. That's 6:30 for you West Coasters like me.
Curly headed.
He's a West Coaster too, but he always speaks East Coast time. It drives me nucking futz.
Daniel with the comment of the day for reasons that we can't even get into on the air because it ties into both of us.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, love you, Daniel.
But yes, to the point made in the chat room, the first time 2 African Americans, let alone African American women, main evented WrestleMania.
Yep.
And it still is my standard for women's wrestling in the modern era. Don't get at me about Charlotte versus Rhea. It was a phenomenal match.
Yep.
And it's not just my hatred towards Charlotte, because if we're being honest, I'm not that partial to Sasha either.
Right.
I just feel like this match was better than Charlotte Rhea. Charlotte Rhea may have had more history to it, going back to Charlotte taking the NXT title off of Rhea and Rhea wanting her comeuppance, her revenge. She's not that same Rhea anymore.
Yes.
I just feel, like I said, hold for hold, move for move, this was the better match. And that brings us to the main event.
Cape Rayer's got to figure it out, JJ. It's Gimmick Battle Royal. I knew it. Yay for Doink. And the Iron Sheik, baby.
That's right.
And Jimmy Cornette. Let's not forget Cornette and Brother Love in there together. Good. Almighty.
God damn it.
I'm so glad Bruce Pritchard got a better WrestleMania moment than that shit.
But if it's not Triple H and Cena, if it's not Sasha Bianca, if it's not Rock Hogan or Austin Hogan, excuse me.
Rock Austin.
Not Bret and Owen. If it's not the triple threat, what could my main event be for both nights? There is only one.
Ah, yes.
And don't come at me. This is the better match. Go ahead and throw it up one more time. Subjective. This is the better match.
There you go.
Stakes were higher in the sequel.
Sure.
But this was the better match. Mr. WrestleMania versus the man who holds the streak. Their first WrestleMania encounter. Thank you, Cape Rare.
He understands. Razor and Shawn at 10 was, I'm sure, debated in his head. Definitely in my head.
As was Shawn and Flair.
Yeah. Yep.
And then that would have freed Taker up for a different match.
Yes, that's true.
But again,
that's the thing with those two. It's like, which one do you pick if you don't pick this one? Because there's so many great ones from both of them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it basically came down to this. The first 2 matches that I had booked were Bret and Owen and Shawn and Taker.
There you go.
I knew that's how my weekend was starting. I knew that's how my weekend was ending.
Valid.
Everything that else that came was just a matter of what can I fit in.
No.
I also didn't have any Natalya, Josh.
Yeah. I think Natty falls in the same problem with Rob. It's like Natty's had great moments. It's not a lot of great WrestleMania moments.
I mean, I'd have to go back and relook, but I might have been able to book that tag match.
Oh, the 4-way tag? Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Iconics, Natty and Beth. Sasha Bailey, you lose Bianca. So no, you couldn't have.
Well, I would have been able to throw in the image from 40 that I had saved.
Mm.
Because
yeah.
I was
yeah.
contemplating the 6-woman tag.
Right.
That way I would get my girl Jade onto my WrestleMania card.
Bianca,
again,
Naomi,
Finn.
Jade. Yeah. Yeah, you could have used that one. Okay.
And then I would have had even more women on my show.
There you go.
Because that would have been another 14
6.
just in those 2 matches.
Yep. That's true.
Well, 13 because I already had Sasha booked.
But this is the struggle, people.
Yeah.
That we've been dealing with for the last week and a half.
Seriously. So again, before Jeff gets into his list, just try to keep that in mind when y'all are in the comments talking about, oh, what about this? What about this? You lose a bunch of shit. You got guys like Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker who've been at so many WrestleManias.
Yes.
So many matches.
Yes.
That you pick them to take on each other because it is arguably one of, if not the greatest matches in WrestleMania history.
Right?
But then you lose all those other matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep that in your mind as you take a look at the updated watch-along trailer. I didn't fix what you told me about. I'll do that once we get done with this weekend.
Cool beans. Yeah,
but take a look at the updated watch-along trailer with all the shit that we will be providing coverage for across the multiverse media.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Birthday boy is in his house. Happy birthday, Big Baller G. Good to have you here.
Yeah, I had a great comment before you threw the commercial. I was going to be like, well, hell, you talk about having so many things to choose from WrestleMania-wise for those two. G was at his first WrestleMania this year. So there you go.
It was. Daniel with the take of the night. Me having more women wrestlers on mine is better than TK booking the women's in his company.
Daniel's on point with his comments so far. I'm just throwing that out there.
If Tony is watching, please take notes and listen to him.
Right. No kidding.
And Tony, while you're watching, go back and watch Inside the Mind of the Renegade and listen to what I would do with your women's division.
Yeah, for real. Whoops. Forgot to take that down. My bad. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Nick.
Yes. I was going over to my list and I forgot we were talking about that show earlier, and we will plug that.
Yeah, I already go on a vacation. Feel like I need a vacation just from looking at my WrestleMania, let alone the watch-along trailer.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, and of course, they freaking announced a 0 hour for Sunday starting at 3:30. So all these graphics I've had made up forever. That one you put in the trailer that said we're starting at 5, and then wait, no, we're going to start at 4. No, we're starting at friggin' 3 on Sunday. So, thank you, Tony, for
3:30 tomorrow because they've got 3 matches booked for their pre-show for the Countdown to Rebellion.
Okay.
Which means we're not going to have a whole lot of time to, discuss Rebellion. So we got to go at least 30 minutes only. And then, of course, TK and his genius counter programming No, nay. We can't just have Collision. We've got to have Rampage 2 to give them 3 hours to go up against TNA, but fuck WWE when they do it to them. You curly-haired son of a bitch.
You're why we can't have nice things, Tony. You're why we can't have nice things.
Tony, you've got some splaining to do.
Seriously. All right. So I took, you are good, Walter. No worries, brother. Hey, you're at the gym and buying new shit. You are good. 10-hour pay-per-view. If that goes 10 hours, okay, I'll put it this way. I am boarding a plane at 6:50 here in LA on Sunday night and getting into Phoenix about an hour and a half later. So I should probably be at where I'm going by about 9 p.m. Pacific. If these guys are still on the air when I get to where I'm going, Meech's Music on Monday is going to be a banger of an episode in of itself. I'll tell you what.
Well, I tell you what.
Because, God damn it, let these boys sleep. We don't have a weekend off until the end of June. Y'all suck anyway. We did the math going out yesterday. The weekend after Clash of the Castles, our first weekend, we ain't got shit booked yet.
The truth, it's actual. Everything's not satisfactual with Tony Khan's booking.
No, and yes, the weekend of May 18th and 19th is not a watch-along booking, but we have a personal event to attend for a friend. Or at least I'm going. So, our boy Gary Apps getting inducted in EWF Hall of Fame. So
there you go.
I'll be in San Bernardino.
So before you kick things off, sir, what did you think of my 2-night extravaganza?
I loved it. A lot of similarities, a lot of same matches, same layout in a lot of places. I liked it. I will say this: I did not give the audience a chance to cool down. Like my 20 are just gonna like send them into the freaking hospital from overload for sure. And the truth shall set the Slammies free too. If you watch that shit, that was good stuff. Anyway. Oh, I know they will. I know they will.
I'm still dying over him on his little red carpet in the audience.
Yes. That was the best part. Yeah.
It took me back to working for Staff Pro and how some of us older people would go up to the decorators and try to get a little remnant of carpet to put at our post to step on because the concrete is so hard and wearing on your feet.
Right.
So we'd go up to the decorators and be like, can we get that little scrap piece of carpet to stand on?
Yep. Been there.
That's exactly what I thought of with True standing there, especially knowing he's like 51, 52 years old. Standing on that little carpet so his feet didn't hurt.
Right. Oh, the Slammies are just good shit. But anyway, yeah. So
what
yeah,
I got in store for the general public, if you will, for your 2-night extravaganza.
Well, much as you did, we're starting off with the brother versus brother. Brett and Owen. I mean, you can't not start WrestleMania without this match. I mean, it's the greatest opener in WrestleMania history. I will fight that. I'll even fight versus Eddie and Ray. I really will. So this is, I mean, you said everything you need to say. It's in the Garden. It's a bitter, long-standing rivalry that went well over 2 years after this. And I just felt it had to be on there. So that was, I appreciate you going for it because, man, it was easy to just go, yeah, what he said.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely between Brett Owen and Eddie Ray. You know, most days Brett Owen wins in a landslide, but there's some days, man, you wake up and you're like, you know,
yes,
Eddie and Ray just don't get talked about in the same vein that Brett Owen does.
No, and it's a damn shame. All right, so here's where I'm probably going to surprise a lot of people right at the gate.
Okay.
Again, I don't have cooldown matches. I'm just hitting people with. I think I went more for moments in mind than I did for match quality, but there are some still damn good matches here coming up.
Okay.
So, number nine. No, I'm sorry. We're going forward. It's number two. Number two. Sorry. I'm used to top 10s. I'm sorry. So my second match was from a WrestleMania that you went to.
Okay.
Cena JBL.
Okay.
Now, send your hate tweets to Jeff. Me too. I don't care. A couple things. Number one, happened here. Number two, everybody I know except me and Stagger Lee were pretty much there. At the end of the day, it was John's moment, and I think it was definitely Bradshaw's WrestleMania moment. Yeah, he had the match with Benoit the following year, which kind of was what it was. Yeah, the Intercontinental title match with Ray, which I think was like 20-something seconds. Bradshaw didn't really have a good standout WrestleMania moment in the APA or John versus. There you go. Some people will take Kramer versus Kramer. I'll take John versus John. There you go. And if John Cohn's refereeing, we got ourselves a triple threat of a John. So I love that shit. But anyway, yeah, I feel like John Cena kicking off his era and JBL getting his moment belonged on a WrestleMania, a MegaMania. So there's where I stood on that one. My next one is another one that you had, I think in the same spot, if I remember right, but I could, either way, I know it was on night one. Benoit, Angle, Jericho. 2 fall Eurocontinental Championship matches.
I think I had this as 4 or 5. My third one was the Taka Aguila one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you were coming back up from the ECW match.
Yeah.
So again, D'Lo may have been the first. Jeff Jarrett may have also been, but Kurt Angle was the true Eurocontinental champion. And I thought that was a great match. It led to me getting a great picture of Jericho doing his entrance, but I was behind the stage, so Jericho was looking up at me. So that was pretty cool. I wrestled really hard about both Chris Benoit and Vince McMahon because of reasons. But again, separate the performer from the art. Separate the art from the man. Mm-hmm. And like I said, arguably the 3 greatest technical wrestlers in the company at that time.
Yeah.
And the previous match, yeah, definitely John. I would say WrestleMania 20 was his coming out party. WrestleMania 21 would be like his, I guess, graduation, if you want to use a comparative term.
His coronation.
Coronation, there you go. Yeah, because I mean, both hit. And again, people are going, God, WrestleMania 21 was so bad after the women's, the Angle Michaels match. I know. He knows too. He paid and sat there and watched it live. We know. It's okay. It's still a moment. Match quality, but this match quality, the triple threat, I mean, my God. And the storytelling was so good. It started on heat when we found out that Backlund was the one that booked it, Frankel. It's like, damn you, Bob Backlund. Interfering, how do you do, you looking mucker feather? Great match. And again, you talked about it earlier. You know, how do you do this and not have Benoit versus Angle versus Jericho versus? You just do it. You just commit to the bit. And yes, as a triple threat match. For a guy that says he hates triple threat matches, I'm going to prove myself completely hypocritical here throughout this list.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, yeah. All right, so this next one is not triple threat. It's not even really that good a match. We talk about moments. Even the finish probably should have gone a different way. But that's right. That's right, Walter. There we go. That's right. If you don't like this match, you lack the 3 eyes. That's right. Damn it. This next one, however, probably could have used at least one of the eyes, with a little more intelligence on the booking part of it, at least the finish. And again, this is the 80s, late 80s, early 90s fanboy in me getting Sting on there. Yeah, he should have won. No doubt about it. He should have won this match. But in the confines of this match, you have Sting, you have the NWO, you have DX. All 432 of them except China. Everybody's there. The whole clique is out there. Only time I think that's happened in the confines of a match at WrestleMania. But it was, again, moments. Just all the moments.
So for you folks at home keeping score, that means no Triple H Batista?
Nope.
That means no Triple H Orton. That means no Triple H Undertaker.
Nope.
And there's 3 of those to choose from, including the Hell in a Cell.
Yep. And I'm sure Greg Cherry's going, what are you doing? Sting was done dirty in WWE. No doubt about it. But that's what made March 3rd this year so special. And again, fantasy booking being what it being, we could be here for another 2.5 hours. Because Taker Sting definitely should have happened at that point. Easy. Down, Walter. Now, Josh, if you are watching, here is your moment.
Man.
This match just cooked. I love this match. I'm so glad I got to see this match live. Definitely the WrestleMania for Gunther, because he lost this year, obviously. Sheamus in a WrestleMania moment, which, if y'all remember Sheamus' first WrestleMania moment in the match Triple H, this one was a savior of his WrestleMania moments career. And yes, I'm talking about that WrestleMania 28 match also, because that stupid finish. Anyway, and then Drew, who, if he just left well enough alone, it could have been this year for him having a WrestleMania moment if he just let it be.
He got his moment. He won the title in front of fans.
And family. Kissing his wife.
It's gone again.
Got to hold the gold, got to kiss his wife. And he just had to go mess with Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
Total sidebar.
Himself in the flying fairy skull from Abby's world.
That's right. And if you know, and you are people.
The title was gone again.
That's it. Sidebar completely. Blackhawks were in town for the game last night against the Kings. They played Colt's personality because there were so many Blackhawks fans in there. And I'm marking out for it. Dad goes, how many people do you think actually know what that ties to? I'm like, look how many Blackhawks jerseys are in this building. And ask me that question again. They know. All right. The next one you also had on your list. You actually had it as a main event.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And again.
So far down the card.
Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hang on. I can't. Jeff can't count. Buy the shirt on Greg Cherry brand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like number 7 on night 1. So, but yeah, Rock Austin again. The rivalry that defined the Attitude Era at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that's the tweet. Just these guys were the standard at WrestleMania, and that's why they got 3 rounds of it at WrestleMania. Almost didn't. Stone Cold went and ephedrine himself half to death, but what are you gonna do?
And they didn't do it consecutively. They let it breathe 15 rounds.
Yes.
15, 17, 19.
Yep.
Not 25, 26, 27, 28. This long, drawn-out story.
Yeah.
They
then again,
some breaks in between.
Rounds. And you think about what it took to get them back to each other each time. Austin sat out WrestleMania 2000 with the neck surgery.
Yeah, well, Rocky was in that McMahon in every corner 4-way match.
I'm telling y'all, WrestleMania 2000. It's a case study on sanity. I'm fucking telling you.
And then 18, you had freaking Austin versus Scott Hall while you had Rock and Hogan. So they were fighting the same fight. They were fighting the NWO.
Yeah. They were just booked against the wrong people. I'm sorry. I will forever think I should have been Austin Hogan. And I know Austin didn't want to do it. And that's fine. But man.
I think Rock Hogan was the right call. I think Austin and Hall was the wrong call. I don't remember what was going on with Kev. I think Austin and Nash would have been better than Austin and Hall.
Yeah, I think Nash was still dealing with lingering, being banged up a little bit. But once Austin turned down Hogan, I was like, all right, well, let's go what we got. But yeah, anyway. And then Steve walking out of the company after that. And we got back to it, and we had him whoop a man's ass in Montreal.
Well, and, I mean, again, I completely off topic here, but I always reside and kind of understand why Austin walked out. It's like, how do you not have legitimate creative and direction for Stone Cold Steve Austin? And then when you do try to have creative, you want him to job in a qualifying match for the King of the Ring to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Him and Brock and
Lesnar should have been the finals of the King of the Ring, because you could have built this story of, can the Texas Rattlesnake reclaim the throne 6 years after he originally won it?
Yep.
Or is this new beast, Behemoth, truly the next big thing in the WWE?
Yep.
And you have Brock vanquish Austin in the finals.
Yeah. And even if they went with the same booking they went with as far as the tournament itself, and Austin had been around still, you put him in the same vein you put him in with Hogan, with Lesnar and Hogan. Lesnar got over by winning King of the Ring. He got damn near made by taking out Hogan, and then he got made by beating Rock. So right there, Austin, Hogan, Rock. Can we say a Chris Jericho moment for this kid?
Legit.
Bing, bing, bing. 3 in a row. Not the same night, because Jericho invented that shit. But beating those 3 guys consecutively like that, just saying. You talk about making him, he was already made as it was. But having Austin be the first casualty to fall, dude, printing money with that kid's face on at that point. All right. So I mentioned triple threats are heavy. Here we go again. But I wanted to get one of these guys on here definitely. And as much as you and I don't personally enjoy one of the other participants in this match, as far as his WWE stuff, how can I not have Brian's moment on my MegaMania? How can I not have that be a thing? And it was just so, even now I get misty-eyed thinking about it. Because this was our guy winning the championship at the event, beating a guy. Now, granted, he did beat Batista to win the title itself, but involved in there is a guy that you have long been on the hype wagon for, in Randy Orton. You think about 10 years before, this week in history, 20 years ago, him and Cactus, redefining Randy's career. You've been on that train ever since, man. And here we were.
I've been down with Orton since day one-ish.
Okay, so 2002. But yeah.
I was down with him when he was still wearing those whatever kind of trunk tights they were, throwing up the O hand signal for Orton.
Yeah.
Before the injured elbow, shoulder, and the RNN. That's how long I've been down with Orton.
Yeah. But you figure Brian had the night of nights. He beat everybody in Evolution.
Except Flair.
No, everybody that was active in Evolution. How about that?
That's fair.
Because Flair was... Yeah, Flair may have been active, but not in WWE. Anyway. Dude, I'll tell you what. That whole second half of 2013, from SummerSlam on to this, yeah, rough. Losing to Orton, regaining it. Yeah, it was a tough summer for us Dragon lovers. All right, semi-main night 1 was your semi-main night 2. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And again, how the history behind it, the history of it, the match quality itself just was everything. I would love it if I had not used Bryan here. I would have used Bryan versus Kofi later.
Yeah,
for the moment.
Walter was here for the beginning
Right.
portion. You
Right.
can only use a talent once, Walter.
Yeah.
There is no double duty.
Yeah. Nope. If they are actively involved in the wrestling of the match, they cannot be used more than once.
Yeah. So really quickly before you get back to the women here, throw the Bryan graphic back up.
Mm-hmm.
So think about all the matches you lose now with this match. There's no Batista Undertaker. There's no Orton versus Cena. There's no Orton versus Undertaker. There's no Orton versus Triple H, even though we used Triple H already, I think. There's no Bryan versus anything else. Like, this is the only representation of all of them, Walter.
Right.
Go ahead. You can move.
You're good. So, yeah. Sasha and Bianca is my semi-main for night 1. Again, I want to make sure I got the women at least once per night. I know people are like, oh, you didn't use them enough. You know what? It's subjective. It is what it is. I feel like the matches I picked, I'd book them. Yeah. I would reuse them. So,
and it's one thing to hinder all of us, Walter, as long as you don't hinder the gender.
Who did not get booked on my show, by the way, nor yours. So, and no, Gronk tackle on his ass don't count because that was Andre Battle Royal, and I ain't gonna use one of those. Can he lose like 30 people and F that? No. All right. Main event, night 1. I thought really hard, not only about using this match, but where to put it. And it came down to the most recent episode of 6 Feet Under. An Undertaker naming his Mount Rushmore points in wrestling history. So my main event, night 1, Andre Hulk, WrestleMania 3.
Wow.
And I know that the match quality did not live up to NorCal standards. Not that I give a fuck. But again, the very first thing you see every time WWE takes the airwaves, at least before the new signature debuted at WrestleMania this year, was Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. It is the moment that defined WWF. It's the moment that continues to define the company, I think, even now. Yes, we're in a new era, but I think night 1 ending with that also, it defines the God damn it, the Silverdome comment. You guys suck. Poor Terry. It defines the Vince era. However you think of Vince McMahon now, that moment, that show was the moment that the WWF really shot into the stratosphere. And I think Hogan Andre being the main event definitely is why I put it here. Brother. That's right. That's my back spasms with my fake mustache. And Larry Fling Live sitting there. Oh, stop it, you guys. You guys are terrible. All right. Night 2.
You know, I'm not surprised about Andre Hogan, really.
Okay.
I do agree that the match quality, forget about not living up to a certain NorCal journalist standards. I don't think in retrospect it lives up to most people's standards.
Oh no, it's rough. It's a rough match.
It's pretty bad because at that point Andre was like gimping around the ring.
Yes.
I
I know.
don't know. Like it really was rough for me when it came to Hogan.
I know.
Because his best matches are questionable at best.
Well, yeah. Especially at Mania. Figure the tag match, it's like, yeah, but then you lose Roddy. I'm gonna have Roddy come in later. You know, Andre here, Andre the following year, Savage
Bundy was Bundy.
Yeah, I didn't mean to skip that, but I did. So there you go.
Savage I almost went with, but then you lose Steamboat.
Right. And then Warrior, I couldn't make myself put Warrior on my list. I just don't like the retroactive. Oh, he's great. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Damn. Slaughter, first Mania or not. Sid, Vegas.
Yokozuna.
Stop that. And then
first Hogan person to vanquish the bloodline.
God damn it. Not out of line, but not wrong.
And he didn't even embrace his Samoan culture. He was Japanese.
That's right. That's right. Oh God. Anyway, Hogan Rock, but then you lose Rock Austin. Vince, no, he did not tag in. You know, Hogan and Vince, but then you lose Vince, where I'm going to bring him up for later. That's it. So, if it would have been a match, I would have used the Eugene moment, because that at least was fun, heartwarming, but it was the match.
That's fair.
It was the beginning of the end for us.
It did bring a tear to my eye too. Damn it! But anyways.
Right, because you were there. So I don't. Yeah, that's right. I don't even want to hear it.
I got wrapped up in the Mania for a moment.
You did, even though people kept claiming it was Reba McEntire with the Hogan. It's like, no, she just happens to have red hair. It's okay, guys. It's not really Reba McEntire, but okay. All right. So night 2. I'm starting night 2 off with a match that does not get talked about in a whole lot of good favor, because the WrestleMania it was on was well, it was shit. But the Intercontinental Championship match between Razor Ramon, Jeff Jarrett from 1995 was one of the few bright spots of what was a god-awful WrestleMania.
I agree.
There you go.
When me and Noah did the call for this,
yes,
we were really having a blast with this one, because Noah and his Jeff Jarrett love anyways.
Yes.
But then for this to be like the match of the show.
Right? And you figure you've got Scott Hall, you got Jeff Jarrett, you got Sean Waltman, and you got Road Dogg. Dude, you're good here.
And then making Noah have to admit it was the best match of the show, and it had Jarrett in it.
That's your moment right there. Oh yeah. But yeah, 11's just so bad.
And Jarrett with the freaking light up double J on
the even in the goddamn graphic, dude. Like, what the shit? And freaking Brian just sitting back there laughing like a hyena. You love to see that.
For real, Brian looks like he's happier to be in the picture than either of the competitors.
I know.
Like Mike Wazowski, freaking in the commercial, and they put the little thing up over his face, and he's like, "Did you see me in the commercial?" Brian's all Big G there. He's like, "I'm just happy to be here."
No shit, right? There's a great picture out there somewhere. I'll see if I can find it for tomorrow, of Waltman doing his spinning leg kick to Brian, and Brian's dreads are just freaking everywhere. Like the dreads that Roddy was sporting back then. It was like, man, that's a lot of hair going on there.
You must have tuned in real late, Walter, because I did have TLC on mine.
Yep. And I contemplated Taker Edge. I really did, because I was there for it and it was a great moment. But it's not there. All right.
Speaking of disturbances in the force, when we get to the shows, we will be discussing some disturbances in the force.
Yes, yes. All right. Second match, night 2. I mentioned I had an image for it when you were worried about the Battle of the Billionaires. So let's just do the thing. The Usos against Dean Jericho, the Wild Samoans.
God damn it, just call him Dean Jericho.
I know, Dean Jericho, by God. It'll always be Dean. It's still real to me, damn it. And yeah, that Brett Backlund match does not get mentioned again for reasons. But yeah, again, great match. Unbelievable moments. I don't think I've had properly dry eyes since this night. I'm still wiping away little tear crusties now, a year and a few days later, because it was just so epically told. As much as the Bloodline storyline has been about Roman and now Cody finishing his story, it's been about Sammy, and it's been about Kevin, and it's been about Jimmy and Jay. And yes, I did bawl like a muckerfudder. And when I got to the car to jump on the stream with the rest of these guys, I think I was wiping tears away from Inglewood at least halfway, if not all the way home. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I did not shed a tear that night. I probably should have. I came close.
Yeah. No. Yep.
But it did not happen.
I think you were saving yours for night 2, and then it didn't happen. Until a year later.
Hey.
And it was beautiful.
I was going to say, we won't bring that up. People that saw it. People that didn't see it can either go back and watch it on demand or not. It's fine too, but
we won't bring it up yet. All right, Josh, here you go. Here you go, Josh. You ready, Josh? You ready, Josh? Here it comes. Ready? Oh, there it is.
God damn it.
Vince and Shane, WrestleMania 17. Okay, look. Hear me out here. Okay. Now. God, they're going to hate me for this, but fuck it. I wanted to get Vince on here at some point. He's had some Mania moments. No doubt about it. But if I went with the McMahon in every corner match from 2000, then you lose Rock, Hunter, Show, and Mick Foley. Which, again, I don't think I used them at any point, but even still. Well, no, I did use Hunter and Rock both. But then I thought, wait a minute. 17 has all 4 of them. 17 has Trish involved in a run-in, which I didn't use Trish at all on my list, so there's that. I know, I didn't have Trish. Sound the alarms. And it has Mick Foley in a role too. So that's why I use this match for the moments. And it was his best WrestleMania match. But you know what? I'm going to disagree with that. Hogan and Vince was, again, it was what it was. It was 2 people north of 50, gushing like idiots. Piper with his 4 or 5 artificial hip replacements at that point, doing a I would call it a run-in, but it was what it was. It was a saunter into the ring under a trench coat. You
know what? He still got there quicker than Iron Sheik at fucking Mania 17 in the Gimmick Battle Royal. So
Iron Sheik ain't even there yet. What are you talking about?
And he's dead, so go figure.
Well,
it took so long getting to the ring, he passed away.
That's it. He was so slow, he expired before he got to the middle of the ring in Houston. Poor bastard. God rest you, Cheeky baby. I apologize for that shit. Right? I'm going to hell for that one for sure. But yeah,
roll in.
Yeah, right. Fuck. There you go. There's the word. Thank you, Walter. Jesus. I wanted to get the McMahons involved, and I know the McMahons aren't exactly a popular topic right now, but you know. If you do 2000, then you lose 4 quality people for matches later. If you do this one, everybody else is running status. So, shit. Like, somebody grab his power walker. God, get in there. All right.
Think he's still ascending the stairway to heaven.
St. Peter's going, dude. Like, come on, Kaz. You're killing me here. Anyway, sticking with WrestleMania 17, another match you had on your list. TLC 2. And again, I could use one from 2000. More sentimental to me. I was there. I know. But again, this match was the culmination of the build-up from the Triangle Ladder match, from TLC 1, from everything that had gone on since the previous WrestleMania. And as I stated earlier during your call of it, it also featured Lita, Spike Dudley, and Rhino. Yeah. So you got more people involved. And I think the moments during the match were more impressive than the one in 2000. Other than Jeff, the Jiggly Danier, breaking his ass bone from the bump that didn't quite hit Bubba or the damn table because he's crazy at 2000.
His ass bone.
Yeah, right. He wasn't alone. I'm doing that because everybody was fucked up on that match. Well, yeah, TLC in 2001, I think, is like every TLC variety match has tried to follow that. Mm-hmm. And I think the singles match with Edge and John had more emotion. I think TLC 3 on SmackDown had more of an impact on me because I was there for that one. But I think TLC 2 will always be the standard at this point. There were some standard setters, but this is the standard bearer now. Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania ladder matches, there have been a lot, as a matter of fact. But I don't think anything is going to top that tag team title ladder match. Damn. I mean, Steven's got his power chair at least. Yeah, that's fair. You would think I would have a freaking 88 ramp. I mean, Disney does. Why can't God? We are going to hell for this show. It's going to be a thing. We like.
I'm not saying a word. You're saying it.
Well, you putting it up there.
I'm just bringing up the comments.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Yeah, I do. I mean, as far as this last Monday, Shiki Baby's on point, man. Fuck Monday. All right. What about it? What about it, Mansfield?
Continue.
Dude, I will call on Cardona. I swear to God, I will have him shave your head. He'll do it too. All right. On we go. So this next one, it came down to they've had 2 matches together at WrestleMania. And I was like, all right, which one? Because they were both the first match was better. I think the second one, the moments were better, but I went with the one that had the better match and still unbelievable storytelling in moments. Undertaker and Kane. And again, Undertaker's a mucker brother of a choice. Because like, where do you put the other matches he's had? So, but I felt that this match and the 25-year storyline afterwards just made it for me. And I felt it was powerful enough to be included on my Mega WrestleMania.
Plus, you get that nice random appearance by Pete Rose.
That's right. Who should be a Hall of Famer, by God. Just not WWE. Although he deserves to be WWE Hall of Famer, Celebrity Wing, because God, his Mania moments were great. And the No Mercy commercial. Lest we forget that. But yeah, if you go back in history, recency bias aside, when you're talking about the Bloodline story now, the Undertaker Kane story is the greatest story WWE ever told.
Yeah.
When JJ talks about long-term storytelling, and he opens that book for reference. There's a giant picture of the Calloway family on the front of it. Because it's like their story's just epic.
Yeah.
And it really all started here. WrestleMania 14.
And that's a hell of a family photo when you figure Brother Love, you figure Undertaker, you figure Percy, you figure Kane, you figure Mankind, you know, you figure Michelle McCool, Kane, Sarah.
If you really want to get in the balls deep of it, Heyman lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
So
with some diabolical grin over his face.
As he should. Because he's crazy. The mad scientist is extreme. All right. So the next one's another one you and I share.
Before we move on.
Yes.
We did get 2 super chats come in from Walter.
Oh, okay.
You know, one had to because of that bad dad joke.
I appreciate that, Walter. Thank you.
And then another one splitting it up. So he hit both of us with 250. Thank you very much, Walter. We appreciate it.
Much appreciated, Walter.
All right, continue.
All right. Another match. I think it's the last one we share. Yeah, it is. But again, you think about the matches that one of them had at WrestleMania were good, but there is no touching this one for Randy Savage for me. Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. God, I mean, this is the one that if I ever had the opportunity to open a wrestling school, not that I would teach it, I would have other people teach, obviously, but the first videotape I'm showing them is this match. Like, all right, guys, you want to know how to do a technical run through? Watch this. And then even the story is great. You know, you've got the larynx injury. You've got the side story with George the Animal Steel and Miss Elizabeth. And it all came together. And when you go back and, for example, if you watch Ricky Steamboat's DVD, which is, I think, also through Peacock and the network, you know, there was low-key heat on them for going out there and doing as well as they did and going, oh, shit, now Hulk and Andre got to follow that. Because it was that freaking good.
Yeah.
Arguably the greatest Intercontinental Championship match in WrestleMania history. Yes, I will put it up against Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus. And I think anybody of our generation will fight to the death for Steamboat and Savage. I think anybody of Josh's generation in that age will fight for the triple threat. And that's great. That's what this show is all about.
Yeah.
Because they're both fucking good.
And that just plays into the subjectivity of it all.
Yep. Now.
And I mean, you say that if you're going to teach a class, this is the first tape you're breaking out. That's the only place where I might be able to dispute you on.
Okay.
As far as it being the first tape.
Okay.
It's definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about the Iron Man match.
Mm-hmm.
You think about Brian and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah. Again, recency bias, or would have, and I'm talking WrestleMania.
But you also got to figure if you're teaching a class, you might want to start recent.
That's true.
Way you're starting with people that are still actually active that they can study in real time.
Valid.
And then you can work your way back a little bit, you know.
True. Very true. The next one is a straight attraction. I'm being honest.
Uh-oh.
But I couldn't not have these two men involved. Because I didn't choose their first time they were on a WrestleMania card together. Roddy Piper Boxing with Mr. T. I wanted to put the WrestleMania 1 main event as one of my matches. I really did. But I couldn't make myself remove Hogan and Andre. So I was like, God, I gotta get Roddy on here so bad. Can't use.
Even I didn't.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It was like, I can't use him and Adrian, as fun as that was. Yeesh. You know, him and Bad News, you can't even watch it unless you have the DVD or the videotape of it now. Just saying. Just saying. Can't use him and Brett.
I do. Thankfully, I've got that 1 through 20 box set.
Hard copies, kids.
This is why you invest in physical media.
Yep. I mean, if you're coming into the fandom right now and you're going back for historical reference, you have no idea this match even exists with Roddy and Bad News Brown from WrestleMania 6. It was that controversial then. It is more controversial now.
And to think, in between that match airing and it being put on the Peacock, you had a movie with Robert Downey Jr. playing a dude disguised as another dude. That, while controversial, you can actually still watch on streaming platforms.
I'll put it this way: if people at home that are wondering what we're talking about because they haven't seen the match, Roddy Piper and Bad News Brown is not on Peacock, like Song of the South isn't on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it's basically the same thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and spell it out.
Okay.
You've got Roddy Piper, who's painted half of his body black.
Kind of promo. Yeah.
I mean, he wrestles the same way, but yes,
right.
A promo where you start with normal Piper, and then he turns, and you get the black side of Piper, and then he turns, and you get the white side of Piper, and then he turns, and you get the black side of Piper, and
he's actually calling them different names. One's the Hot Rod, the other's the Hot Scott. It's bad.
Piper. But even this moment, I'm like, I don't know, Roddy. I don't know, bruh.
So yeah, it's like, do you pick that match?
What were you thinking, bro? Bro, who told you this was a good idea, bro? What the hell, bro?
Yeah, who booked this shit, bro? But yeah, can't use that.
And it wasn't Russo.
No, sure as hell wasn't.
Can't blame him.
No. But yeah,
throwing it out there because anytime there's bad booking, everybody wants to blame Russo.
Right?
Can't blame Russo for this.
Nope. So then it's like, okay, how do I get Roddy on here? Can you use him and Brett? I already used Brett versus Owen.
Yes.
Morton Downey's still on the freaking Peacock app. Just saying.
I really debated between the Piper and Brett match.
Yeah.
I wanted Brett and Owen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I also contemplated the Jericho versus Legends match.
Yes.
But then you lose Steamboat. Can't have Steamboat Savage.
Yep.
And you lose Jericho, so there goes that triple threat.
Yeah. So it can only be Piper and T if you want Piper on here. Without using the main event from the first one. Speaking of people from yes.
We do have another super chat.
Oh.
$10 super chat from Emmanuel. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Says, like the movie Soul Man, that movie will be buried in the dust.
I will say this about that movie. If he's referring to Song of the South, like I did. Well, no, like the movie Soul Man, that movie will be okay.
I see what you mean.
Song of the South is in entirety on YouTube, and he, I think, had a digital copy he sent me at one point. It's out there.
I had a hard copy.
Shoot, yeah, you got that. That's right. I encourage again,
I don't condone bootlegging, but when I got my very first computer, which had a DVD burner, the first thing I did was found it on one of those illegal file sharing sites, downloaded it, and burned it so that I could have a hard copy of it to watch on my DVD player.
Yep.
And then my daughter's mom, your sister, loaned that to a person at her work of Islands, and it never came back.
Yep, I remember that story.
And then I ended up coming into another copy, magically falling into my backpack when I worked at Goodwill, and that is the copy that I own to this day.
There you go.
Like it came back to me.
Yes. I encourage people, especially parents, to show their children that movie at least once and let them make their own decision about it. So again, that was way sideways, but whatever.
We do have another super chat from Emmanuel because of course we like to split it between us,
which I appreciate.
For the March Madness WrestleMania tournament request, whenever you feel ready to present it, please private message me, Emmanuel, on what the rules of the March Madness WrestleMania tournament are, and then not to postpone it or delay it. But it just seems like it would be better suited to do next March during March Madness as we roll into WrestleMania.
There you go.
Doing a March Madness / WrestleMania topic in May, June, July just seems kind of out of place.
Yeah.
But we will definitely do it. We will definitely, work on it and keep it on the back burner. Once we start plugging things in for next year, we will make sure that is booked for one of the dads in Friday in March. So, but just make sure you message me the rules of it so that we've got plenty of time to work on it and make it one of the best shows we can do.
Absolutely. Lead time on that would be awesome because there's so many possibilities that you could go with on that.
And that's why I didn't use anything from 40 or even 39.
That's valid.
Digest it.
No, I got you.
No, I know. I was just replying to his comment there.
Yeah. So. Yes.
Yes. All good old LimeWire.
Yes.
Walter knows what's up.
Yes. Oh, yes. LimeWire killing old computer bandwidth since 19. Anyway. All right.
It was the Wish version of Napster.
Yes. And if you know, you know, folks. All right. So third to last, I should say, is one that's not here for a variety of reasons. It's personal to me. It's personal to my dad because he was there with me. It's personal to everybody that can allow themselves to not think about the future after this match and go, it doesn't mean as much, but it does. And it always will. Because at the end of the day, it was his last official WWE match. Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Orlando, WrestleMania 24. I'm hard pressed to find a better story for a match that didn't involve a championship. If I'm being honest, it is, and I'm going to sound very harsh here, but if Nate could just stop Nate'ing, it's a beautiful ending. It is, man. It's so perfect. And you know what? I'll even throw Shawn a little shade too, because he had the same type of thing 2 years later. If Shawn could just stop breaking people's hearts and coming back, even if it was only once, was it really worth coming back for that one, Shawn? That match in Saudi was what it was, brother, if we're going to be real. Now, granted, Flair did a lot more to poop on the parade here. But in the moment of the weekend, you figure the Hall of Fame speech that finally started once Dwayne stopped talking.
What are you talking about? He's still on stage right now.
I know. My ass is still there. I know.
Sheik is still coming down the ramp. Dwayne is still talking, and those fans are still stuck on the Metro waiting on the trains
in Jersey. Yeah, I know. WrestleMania just does not lead to short nights, folks. It just doesn't happen. I mean, I'm predictable. I'm an old sentimental man. Phil, what can I say?
WrestleMania lead to short nights, but at least it's only 2 nights out of 365. Unlike Tony Khan, who does not give us a short night, and that's every fucking pay-per-view he gives us.
Now, granted, talent delivers on 8-day pay-per-views. They always do. But they could be booked a little more relaxed. All right. So yeah, Michaels and Flair. I don't even need to really say anything. I think at this point, all these years later, I really don't. 16 years later, it's
no, you really don't. I mean, again, I seriously contemplated this.
Yeah,
for my Shawn match.
Yeah,
but Shawn Undertaker, you know.
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if I had done this, I could have done Taker Kane also.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Or I could have done, you know, any other Taker match, but
yep. That's what makes this list so hard.
It is. And I hope as people are watching this, they really understand what we had to go through to do this.
Yeah.
Because it was tough.
That's right. I was napping. That's why it happened, because I took a nap and they booked that shit. Yeah, I wish I had not gone back and watched Flair's matches later. I wish I just let it be.
Even covering the Flair's last match like we did.
Yes, I would rather not have that moment.
That entirety of a show was solid.
I know it was, and I don't regret doing that, because it was a great show and another good moment.
You just regret Flair's match in general.
Yeah, because
take that match off the show, and it's
just have it be a Crockett comeback, and I'm good. Honest to God. But then there's not emotion during the rest of the matches, I guess, because the emotion of the tag match was so visceral. All right. Semi-main. Placing the ladies where they belong. Matter of fact, this match was the semi-main event of the WrestleMania this match is from. Night 1, anyway. Charlotte Rhea. And I like to thank WWE for correcting this graphic and not having Charlotte look so much like freaking Cher post-surgery, like they did the first graphic. Good Lord Almighty. Rough. Yeah. That
no
first
comment.
graphic, when they put it out there, that where she's facing forward and not like, just yeesh. But
that's how I feel when I see her on my screen. Anyway.
I know it. I know you were trying. You were trying to hold it in. I appreciate it. But I'll put it this way: I showed the end of this match to somebody on Wednesday night at the club I go to on Wednesday nights, because of how emotional it was and how good the match was, and Rhea's expressions when she hits the riptide off the rope, and then when she gets the Duke and wins the title. It's just, I don't know if it's the best women's match in WrestleMania history, but it's one of the best stories told within a women's match in WrestleMania history. One of. But yeah, people are going to be tweeting me all day. No Trish and Nikki? Nope. Just these matches are what I would book.
That surprises me.
Yeah. All right.
And the fact that a man who worked so closely with a guy who promoted a women's independent ladies division.
Yep.
Only has 2 women's matches out of 20.
Yeah. I'm old school, man.
The ever living shit out of me.
I know.
I thought for sure you would at least have one more.
Yeah. I
thought one.
Yeah, I really like Trish and Mickey was so on the bubble, it damn near popped the bubble. It really did. Because it's so It's so good, but just
my whole thought process was 2 per night. Had to hit him with something old school from the Attitude Era. Hit him with something modern.
Valid.
Represent, because prior to wasn't really a whole lot to choose from. For a reason.
No.
And as we've discussed, those matches not exactly the greatest in quality.
No.
The only one you could really maybe put up a fight for is that Wendy Richter Leilani Kai match, and that's just because of what most of your list is, the moment.
Yes.
The mania. The fact that it was the originator.
Exactly.
But you can't really put that fight up for any of the other ones probably before you really get to like 17, 18.
Yeah, no, exactly. And even then, 17, God, this week is so hard because it's the anniversary of Joni's passing, and I hate this week with all my being.
I know.
But that match was just not. I mean, the story's great, but the match is just.
I mean, we could have had Tori and Stacy versus the Miller Lite Catfight Girls.
I done said what I said. I'm moving on from that now. God damn. 19 was loaded, and then there was that shit. Good grief. And what's so bad about 19 is they had that, and then the women's championship match is more remembered for the wardrobe issues than it is for the match, which is ridiculous, but that's the way it played out. What are you gonna do? Oh, Arlene's not gonna like my number one. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, that's valid, Emmanuel. That's valid. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give us your main event.
And again, it's going to be recency bias for a lot of people, but I just feel like if it had happened last year, it wouldn't be as big an argument. So, come on, you turd. There it goes. I just, and to defend myself a little bit, and by the way, for people listening only, Roman versus Cody from this year's WrestleMania is my number one. My main event night too. I did myself the courtesy, and did everybody hear the courtesy of going back and watching and comparing again. It's probably why I'm so damn tired. But
between that and watching the Phantom Menace.
Well, no, that was just last night. I'm talking the WrestleManias I've been watching since we decided to do this topic. I went through them, dude. Like all of them. Because I wanted to be strong in my conviction for this number one. It just felt like everything it felt like in the moment that you were calling it, that I was directing, that we were watching it. Everything the last 4 years built to that moment. Yeah. Everything since Cody came back built to that moment. Everything we'd heard about from The Rock when he first started dipping his toes back in the water again. Everything we heard about, everything we'd seen from the Bloodline, everything we'd seen from Heyman, everything we'd hoped for Undertaker to get that one last in-ring WrestleMania moment, even if it was literally a fleeting phantom moment and then he's gone. This match just hits me in too many of my damn feels to ignore it being number one.
That's fair.
It was just so beautifully told. The entrances were epic. The match was solid. The run-ins, or whatever you want to call them, were just it was one of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen told in a WrestleMania match, let alone a main event.
Let's call it what it was. Let's call it what I said on the commentary call. You call it run-ins. It was the Avengers assembling.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
The only thing that we didn't hear was Triple H over the PA going, Cody, on your left.
Right.
Before they all started to come out.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, legit. That's the only thing we were missing, but it was the Avengers assembling.
Yes. And I can't get all the imagery out of my head even now, almost 2 weeks later. It just is so special for so many reasons. And I think it will hold up in the retroactive, looking back 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years, 10 years from now, when we hit WrestleMania 50. I really think it'll hold up. So there they are, kids.
I believe it will too, but I need to give it time.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You know, I've said it a couple times. You said you understand, so I'm not going to beat the proverbial dead horse's head, but
yes.
I just in good conscience, because it's one of those things like walking away from WrestleMania 21, I felt it was the greatest WrestleMania ever because I was there, I was live.
Yes.
And then you watch it back on TV later and you're like,
maybe
not.
Maybe not.
So it's like, you know, I kind of want to wait another year or two and then watch it back. And does it hold up? I think it will.
Yeah.
You know, will my opinions on Cody and Roman change between now and then to where it has an effect on me?
Right.
Now, I wasn't as avid of a Batista hater as I was at 21. So, you know, him defeating Hunter, thought it was great. Looking back in retrospect.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like I said, that WrestleMania hit the women's title match and started a hydroplane. Then it got Shawn and Kurt. It was like, okay, I'm good. And then it hit the sumo match and had to freaking skid off the road and crash into a burning blaze of hell. With all respect to the recently departed Akibono, my God.
Yeah.
Like Kurt and Shawn was like the freaking anti-lock system trying to lock in and make sure you save your asses in that Staples Center. And then they brought the sumo match. Yeah. Like, just kidding. You're dead. Because that and the 2 world title matches that were just, and again, one of those is on my list, but it's for the moments. So, subjective as a mucker for the boys and girls. Right? Yes. You know, it's funny. I went to the Kings game on Monday that we should have won, and we lost to Minnesota. Oh my God. The guy walking down the corridor, levels above, hoodie on. I made sure I got him in eyesight and threw up the 1, and he threw it right back up at me, man. And this is 8 days after Mania. It's like Roman Reigns, I think, looking back in history, will be much more appreciated than he is right now. And here he is to get more appreciation than he did during the reign.
Yeah.
The fact that Roman Reigns and the Bloodline captured the attention of his now 15-year-old daughter, who was not a fan at all, really, going into her starting to watch on the regular. That story and that man generated her fandom to proportions neither he or I thought were going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Roman Reigns is. And I think he'll be looked upon far more favorably now that he's away.
I agree.
Let that absence make the heart grow fonder shit kick in. And I feel like that's why this main event is so important. And I feel it should finish MegaMania. I'm not calling it Mania because I already have a shirt like that. And that's just silly.
That's fair.
Cosmania, we need to get a shirt.
You make a valid argument. I cannot dispute you.
But it's a cool topic, and I'm glad we set ourselves on it. And I'm very curious because Josh said he was going to put his own card together. I would love for the people watching, and there's 63 of you watching right now. We were up to 70 at one point, or over 70 at one point. I would love to have those people submit it, be a tweet, be a message, whatever, what you guys would use if you had to use the same criteria.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see what you guys go with. I think that would just be awesome, personally.
Yeah, and remember, you can only use somebody once.
Yes.
So don't give me, night 2 and have it be Shawn Michaels' greatest hits.
Yeah, no.
Or the entirety of the Undertaker streak. You can't.
Yeah, no.
Do that.
Nope.
Except for maybe Giant Gonzalez and Jimmy Snuka. I mean, who wants to sit through those on purpose?
Snuka because it's the first one, maybe, but other than that, yeah, no. Yes. Yeah, Josh, I come back the night of NXT Break-In Night 2.
TikTok, Emma, for
TikTok, brother. On the note of Spring Break-In, I
feel like we have some shills we need to get.
We do indeed. So let's start it off with what is happening just later today itself, JJ.
Yes.
Simply predicting JJ and Noah and the team predicting this Sunday's AEW Dynasty. Of course, it'll be coming up tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, across the Cos 18 Studios channel and on the Simple Man brand. And that's just how it's starting. We actually talked about Get Battle earlier. It was brought up earlier. So it's
no, Emmanuel, that's a bad Emmanuel. And yes, Josh, go take yourself a nappy. That way you're well rested for Simply Predicting tonight.
Yes.
Support.
Get your nappies in.
I know I will be there. I know Noah will be moderating. James is supposed to be there for Simply Predicting because he hasn't been up with the current television product. So he wants to be there so that he knows what matches are going to be on the show.
Since he's doing the call.
He's going to be doing the call, exactly.
Beautiful. I appreciate James doing the call. I know he's not too big on the AW folks, so I appreciate him still doing the pay-per-views for us. That's especially with what I'm doing this weekend now. So it's like,
I have a feeling I'm going to have to step in for one match, and I already asked if I could be third on the call for a different match. So I will be there if necessary, good sir.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the honesty from my AEW analysts that they won't be able to stomach a ladder match on their own. So it is what it is.
Appreciate your appreciation.
It's they're forever going to be polarizing. There's nothing we can do about it at this point.
Exactly, but yeah. So 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Simply Predicting.
Yes.
Me, Noah, James at minimum, and then whoever else from Noah's crew.
Yes.
Decides that they are going to step in and be part of the predictions, possibly Chris Rotz, Jeff Chadwick, perhaps. You never know who's going to join from Noah's motley crew of misfits.
Yes. And then tomorrow, the show that Dattilo will be at, we should be at, but, circumstances be what they be. TNA will be back on pay-per-view. God damn it, you guys. Well, I mean, Walter, you are on something that's why we do your shows on Saturdays. Anyway, dad jokes. These are the jokes, folks. Rebellion from TNA live at the Palms in Vegas. We'll be on the air with our coverage at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific on April 20th.
We're going to be going at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern because they have 3 matches for their pre-show.
That's right. So tomorrow, April 20th. You've got 50 minutes. Hang on. Yeah, 50 minutes, 50, to get your toke ready.
That's right.
Because damn it, somebody should be doing it if I'm not. And then, of course,
doing it. I'm going to have to be on color commentary for that night. So.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's right, because the tail will be live and in public, if you will. And then, of course,
out
open
of
mic night.
everybody else, and out of everybody else on the team, who else keeps up with TNA Impact to be able to do it? Like,
yeah, that's fair.
it kind of is what it is.
I mean, I do, but not enough to do the commentary. Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's the caveat. And then, of course, open mic night, the last quote unquote normal open mic night for a couple of weeks.
Yes, because
so,
we
we'll
have 2 game shows in a row that will be
I
coming.
love it.
We will get there when we get there. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have a whole lot of topics already planned for open mic night. I know we will be addressing the Rhea Ripley situation.
Yes.
Put your kiddies to sleep before that. I know it's not all going to be negative, as we will. You can take the graphic down.
Okay, sorry.
As we will be discussing the happy news that came out after Dynamite, and to think and put the words happy and Dynamite in the same sentence these last few weeks, that right there is newsworthy.
Right? No kidding.
We'll be discussing the happy news that came out of Dynamite, and I'm sure we'll be discussing other stuff as well. So,
well, yeah, because between
we'll see what
Dynamite,
SmackDown tonight, we'll see what happens with Rebellion, and if there's anything newsworthy to be discussed tomorrow. Viewer discretion is advised, but will be completely fucking ignored.
As we do.
As it usually is.
Yes. Now, this graphic I know is up to date because I updated it right before I put it in here. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, we'll be on with our coverage leading into the 0 hour. It's really a 0:90 of AEW Dynasty because we just have to have 12 matches on a Sunday. So thank you for that, Tony. Shit. But yeah, the team will be there doing their thing. I will be getting ready to, or will be in the air at that point, heading for Arizona because, I'm a glutton for punishment. But yeah, that'll be Sunday. Of course, Meech's Musings. Of course, Nova Wrestling.
Make sure that you go and stand on the corner in Winslow.
If I see, I don't know. I'm not sure where. I'm flying into Phoenix. I just don't know where we're going to be driving, but I would love to go to that corner. I've never been in that corner. I've never been in Arizona for more than a few minutes because, going with Clay to go see the Garcia twins or whatever. I've never actually stayed in Arizona for a length of time, but I will try to get to Winslow. And if you know, you know. If you don't,
I was going to say, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then you really need to take it easy.
Exactly. And go on spring breaking while you do, because Tuesday this week, Tuesday next week, the 23rd and the 30th. Let me get rid of that banner. I can't see our freaking times here. Where is it? There it is. There we go. Tuesday, April 23rd and 30th at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. We will be on with our coverage of NXT Spring Break-In. So much good stuff already announced for the first night. I'm sure they'll announce plenty for the second night. They're having a contract signing on the first night for an underground match on the second night, which anything underground is like, God, here we go again. But it just had Natalya involved, so I'm here for it.
Hey, the couple of underground matches that I have seen on NXT have been really good.
That's true. That's true.
So I am looking forward to Natalya versus Lola Vice underground match. It's really going to be put up and shut up for Lola at this point.
Oh, no, it is. It is. This is her moment, man.
Exactly. We've got 2 title matches on the show. Women's triple threat, Roxanne defending against the former champ, Lyra Valkyria, and her former sidekick, Tatum Paxley. We've got Ilya Dragunov defending his championship against Trick Williams. We've got 6-man tag action, the No Quarter Catch crew taking on the D'Angelo family. So much more. Gonna be a great event.
Yes, looking forward to it.
$5 super chat from Eddie Burton. No message, so thank you very much for that.
Then you mentioned there's 2 game show nights back to back coming up across the multiverse media for open mic night. Next Saturday, the 27th, we will have the return of Match Game, and it's going to be again, the classic game show you've come to know and love, especially the way we do it, because it's a little batshit crazy. But looking forward to having the panelists. Looking forward to having Greg come back and defend his game show night title against Emmanuel.
Looking forward to being on the panel for that. I had a lot of fun the last time.
Yes.
Sitting up there, coming up with answers. I've got my dry erase board.
Yep.
To use for my answers and everything.
Yep. It's going to be awesome.
Should be a blast.
We're going to get the panelists booked here in the next couple days, so we'll get everybody's announcement about that when we have it. Now, 2 weeks from today, Friday, May 3rd, would normally be the next episode of Dads because we go every other week. However, we've got a kind of content as it is. May 3rd, we've got Under Siege for TNA.
The graphic in there for, by the way.
I forgot to put it in there. But then May 4th, Jesus.
Hold on. I got your back.
Okay, fine. May 3rd, TNA Under Siege.
Let's give TNA their props.
Fair enough.
They're doing better in a lot of areas than, the curly-haired wonder. So
That's fair. That's valid. But we will be on the air.
2 weeks from Rebellion. 13 days later, to be exact.
That's crazy. They're doing that. Yeah, it's bonkers. I don't have a start time on that because the Friday shows kind of go back and forth, but probably around 7-8 o'clock Eastern. So
I'm pretty sure it'll be standard pay-per-view time. So we'll probably be going on the air 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern, possibly a little bit earlier if we do find out about some countdown matches that we need to be there for.
So because we have so much content the next day on May 4th, which we'll get to momentarily, our normal episode of Dads will be pushed back 1 week. And there is a valid reason for that pushback being 1 week that we will get into when we are going to promote it, which we're going to go hard and heavy on the promotion after this weekend when we try to get the watch along. Like, good grief. However, May 4th, if you're not a Star Wars fan, you have no idea what's about to unfold. So bear with us, kids. Of course, May 4th is Backlash, France. We're going to have our coverage of that beginning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, followed immediately after our coverage of yours truly, good old JM, hosting the No DQ recap immediately following our stream because Aaron and the team will be attending Virtue's wedding in Ohio. So everybody's going to be gone as far as in that area of the country. So I have been tasked with hosting No DQ's recap. Then later in the afternoon, we're going to hit you, and we're going to hit you hard and hit you fast with a what?
I'm just laughing because I'm enjoying all this content that day. It's going to be
right. I know, it's crazy. So then a Dad's retro double feature. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, May the 4th be with all of us that day. My goodness. It's the episode that brought us back to the air after so many years, back in 2020, where we ranked the 11 released Star Wars movies at the time, followed immediately at 9 p.m. So that shows at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, followed immediately at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific with our show we did last year on the Star Wars Day, top 10 characters from the Star Wars universe in a galaxy far, far away. And then open mic night trivia game night. Open mic night game night will be Star Wars trivia. And that, of course, starts at its usual start time of 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. That is the day, folks. A short time from now across the multiverse, not so far away, May 4th will be one of the most loaded days we've ever had across the multiverse of media. And with JJ's permission, those Dad's throwbacks are going to be across the multiverse as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
get some eyes to the product, eyes to the channel that may not know about the Dads by putting it out there on James's channel, putting it out there on Noah's channel.
Yes.
I'm all about that, dude. I am so looking forward to the Star Wars trivia. I know you know I'm talking to the people, so don't give me that. I know.
Gotcha.
Looking forward to all that. It's basically going to be our take of Jeopardy.
Yes.
And I am the one writing the questions.
Yes, he is.
Everybody in the circle, I am the biggest Star Wars fan. We're going to do this straight up like Jeopardy, 6 categories per round, $100 through $500 increments for the first round, $200 to $1,000 increments for the second round. Final Jeopardy question. All answers must be phrased in the form of the question. And not only am I writing the questions, I will be your host.
There you go.
It will be Renegade Trebek hosting that day. So
that's right.
Looking forward to all that because it'll be my first time not being a contestant, not being a panelist, but actually being the host of the game.
That's it.
So
and I am just not the Johnny Gilbert voice.
A good time. A splendid time will be guaranteed for all as Pop pops into the chat here.
Yeah, we appreciate Catch on Demand, Jerry. We know we went a little early today. Just a smidge. I'm actually glad you mentioned. I'm glad you brought. Damn it, you guys suck. I'm glad you brought up Jerry's comment because I did want to briefly before we sign off for the day, acknowledge my dad. Really quickly. Last night was our last regular season game in our season seats of 25 years. They are doing renovations over the summer. And with me going out of town this weekend, it's probably the last time I sit in those seats. So I just wanted to throw it out to the old Staples Center, the Crypto.com Arena, whatever you want to call it, and just say it's been a interesting last couple seasons. But I'm gonna. It's gonna be interesting when I go back because I'm probably gonna, unless we make it past the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, I'm probably gonna miss those seats, going forward. I also wanted to thank our buddy, friend of the channel, Adam Contras, and his filmmaking for unintentionally getting me on television last night. well, at least my shirt anyway. So that was me. The one on the left is at me just messing with Adam as he was videotaping the game and the warm-ups in virtual reality. Yes, that may be a thing on Bally Sports West in time. We'll see. And then, as you can see, when they threw to Daryl for the warm-ups coverage, there's Adam and his camera. There's most of me, my watch and my logo and my phone made it. But yeah, it's of course my last Kings game in the seats. I get a little bit of TV love. So thank you to everybody at the arena. It's like I said, having a tough time, if I'm being honest. I'm trying to, but yeah, I just saw your dad's coming out. Like, I'm gonna mention my dad real quick. Yeah. So thank you to everybody who watched today. Like I said, we stayed in the high numbers all morning. Considering how early we were on, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it was an off time, so thank you for being that loyal that you actually watched our show today. And we have the belief that we're going to have some pretty cool stuff coming up here this weekend with the double watch-alongs, and then next weekend with Match Game, and then we get into Star Wars Day. Jesus, bananas
indeed. BANANAS.
Yes.
Well, then, at almost 3 hours, I feel like it's just about time to cut this. We knew it was going to be long.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We tend to go about an hour and a half when each of us have a 10 list that we've got to do. We both had 2 10 lists, so 3 hours.
Yes, that's valid.
Seems about accurate.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody for joining us, tuning in. The 60 people still watching us. Granted, most of it is on Twitter.
That's okay.
We appreciate you guys. For those of you that are watching on Twitter, go to the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel, subscribe. Go to the Jeff Meacham Network YouTube channel, subscribe. That way you can join us there because not everything that we broadcast is on the Twitter. So if you've enjoyed our content, if you want to see our watch-along coverage, if you want to hear the Simple Man Noah Foster and I call TNA Rebellion, if you want to hear Noah and James call Dynasty, got to subscribe to the YouTube channels. Simple as that.
We will see you guys later today if you're watching on the Casa, as well as Simple Man Brand. Again, that's the next time we're going live, folks. Tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, as the team simply predicts AEW Dynasty for Sunday night. So that will do it for the dads. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. He is the Renegade. Renegade Wrestling today, because we had a wrestling show again today. The next live show will not be a wrestling topic. We have a really cool topic in mind for you guys, but we're going to make you wait. Thank you all. Again, he is the Renegade, JJ Williams. I am Jeff Meacham. We are the dads, and we'll see you next time.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years.
What the hell? Why did they cut off?
Don't know.
I don't either. Anyway, for over 15 years, you've been watching me, so I appreciate the hell out of you for doing that. But anyway, we're done. We're off the air.
Bye.
The freaking machine is tired. It wants to be done. I don't blame it. He's tired.